Tonight, we come together in the beating hearts of the revolution, the iron forge which molded and polished the minds that gave birth to our rainbow nation. This is the pride of Alice, the University of Fort Hare, ready and thrilled to be hosting the FNB Varsity Shield Final for the first time. And their opposition tonight are the reigning, defending, undisputed back-to-back champions of the Varsity Shield, the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. To say there is feeling in the building tonight would be the understatement of the century. This town is abuzz, and I cannot wait for the match to get underway. The weather is absolutely perfect here today. Not a breath of wind, not a whisper of rain in the air either. Both of these sides should be running the ball freely, and you can see the moon shining there. The moon indeed has risen over the Eastern Cape tonight, and the lights are shining here in Alice. This historic university, which provided us with some of the greatest minds, not just this nation, but the world has ever known. The likes of Desmond Tutu, Robert Sobukwe, Oliver Tambo, Govan Mbeki, Nelson Mandela, and more. A hub of education through the revolution, and now looking to become a hub of rugby. And here is a man of this own land, Siasanga Nkubelanga, from just down the road in Kont. He leads his team onto the field with pride, and what pride they must have. Looking for a third title in a row, which would draw them level with the Ixias of CUT. As you see, the bells and whistles fly into the night sky here tonight. There is energy in the Eastern Cape, in its rugby programs, especially at this level. And the Varsity Shield here, the University of Fort Hare, want to prove themselves, test metal against the greatest side in the competition right now. And here they come. Listen to their crowd, lead them on. Their captain, Kambelihle Fachela, in the lead. It's going down for real in Alice tonight, and there is the captain of Fort Hare, ready and waiting to get underway. But before anything can happen on the field, before Varsity Shield and Cup matches, we have the reading of the Credo and the national anthem, which are to follow.
The Varsity Shield is an original South African product. Its management and participants are proud to be South African, loyal to the national flag, encouraged by our beautiful anthem, and committed to the bright future of this, our beautiful country. Ladies and gentlemen, let us now stand and join together in singing the South African national anthem.
South Africa, South Africa, et de profanos eieme, et dirite varonsie, oronsie verdes, vade grazie arvosie, sans the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa.
Shoot! Shoot! An occasion of enormous magnitude. Who can hold their nerve between these two prestigious sides? Here are your champions, CPUT. Their captain Ngubalanga will be crucial, no doubt, but watch out for Shea Klassen. He is going to be the disruptor in the line-out and the taker for CPUT. The big boys, Rodi van der Heever, Joshua Paris and Tofar will bring the power up front. Can they stay the course though? Stadler at the back and Blois are also players to keep your eye on. The opposite captain, Kambalihle Flatiela, 4 tries in 2022. Mzozoyana at 8, returned in the semi-final to that position. How crucially he did. And Walter Moyo, the scorer of the match winner in the number 5. Keith Chiwara up for player of the tournament in the Varsity Shield this year. He will have to shine in the number 10 jersey. Had some strapping on the knee in the semi-final, which may have compromised his performance. Let's keep an eye on the backline of the Blues of the University of Fort Hare. And right now it is time to introduce alongside me in commentary today, none other than Mtunzi Mabeta. It's big stuff today, Mtunzi.
Paul Stubbs, a privilege, a pleasure, and oh, what an honor to be out here in Alice at the University of Fort Hare. It's about pride, history, and just so much more than playing the game. But they're going to have fire in the belly, ice in the heads, especially KV Fakela. He's going to have to lead from the front and make sure that the University of Fort Hare Blues can control their set piece. It's finals rugby. We know how dangerous Snyder's is in the loose. That's the kind of game that CPUT want to play. They've got the right horses for courses. They've got big boys, but they've also got really dangerous players when they have space. That's what makes Ryan Maria so important in that outside center berth for the University of Fort Hare Blues. The steer scooters out here, the innovations have been magnificent. Those fireworks are absolutely stunning here in Alice. What an atmosphere, not just for the fans, but my goodness, for these players. One of their biggest moments in their lives, without a doubt. Josephus will be so important. Paris will be as well. We've got a game on our hands, and it's so difficult to call which way it might go. Lord Che will be important. He lifts up Ivan Blois, Yugi Engelbrecht. At scrummy, vital. Chikami has been everywhere.
Ryan Maria sends it skywards, and the Varsity Shield final of 2022 is underway. Shea Klassen right into the impact. The vice captain of the side has led CPUT once during this campaign. In the absence of Ngubalanga in that match. Here is Snyders sending it high. Long has he been a star of the Varsity Shield. You can hear the crowd react to any possession that Fort Hare do receive. Fair catch called by Stadler, and you can call a fair catch anywhere on the field in the Varsity Cup and Shield. Snyders spots some space in behind him. Tatlana heading back to fetch this one. It might bounce end over the try line. No goal line dropout in Varsity Shield either, but this one will going back for a 22-meter dropout.
Yeah, well, there's Snyders. That's the effect he can have. Such an intelligent fly-off. Likes to take the ball flat, but his decision-making most of the time is spot on. Just 21 years of age, and that's a very good kick because they stand to receive this 22 dropout, and that's the ball they relish. Open play, counter-attack rugby.
Snyders receives. And he sends it off to Alexander. Stadler to the line. This guy is dangerous. Watch out for him. He makes something out of nothing.
Let's use it.
Engelbrecht away to Paris, off to van der Heever. 2 of the large and in charge forwards that CPUT will surely look to impose on UFH here in the first half. Solomons through the hands, and Alexander can't hold on.
Uncharacteristic mistake there for Alexander, but tell you what, up against that far touchline in front of the crowd, it is booming. Not a bad pass by Keenan Solomon, but unfortunately the quality, the giant slayer as he's known, Darren Alexander, unable to take it, but you can see nice and early. CPUT will want to run everything. They'll only kick when they have to, and that's a very tough team to defend against. This is a huge battle. The pitch is nice and heavy. We saw how the University of Fort Hare Blues were able to use that against the Wusu All Blacks. In fact, it won them the game. Can CPUT hold on to the best scrummage, hold on against the best scrummage in the competition?
Just bring the shoulder out, please. Okay. Yeah, just bring the shoulder up and square up. That's all.
Referee Mbeu getting involved. Make sure we have an even contest. As mentioned by Fudge, this is going to be a pivotal contest here this evening. We also await the first line out. Both of these sides would have been scouting each other out throughout the competition.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Lwazi Madiba feeds. No movement as yet. Ford here
Let's
looking
use
to get
the
that
ball.
forward momentum. But away it goes from Madiba. Straight into the contact. Mikobo Bovu,
Stay.
the player that scored an intercept try that broke the hearts of CPUT on their home ground in the round-robin stage. Chiwara sends one wide for Mdladlana. Stadler's isolated. Getting in over the ball, Sitloi. The penalty goes against the home side, and Snyder's with the tap and go. Snyder's looking to exploit this blind side. Hugo Engelbrecht now. Missed by his opposite number and then hunted down by Madiba. And an advantage to Fort Hare.
Just a knock on here.
Knocked on in the contact.
It's intense. It's intense out there. And you can see nice and early on CPUT in broken play. They're just so dangerous. Big hit made there from Zazana on Kane Stadler, who did really well to place the ball nice and fast. They had the penalty advantage, but opposite number going toe-to-toe nice and early. That's a fantastic hit from Lwazi Madiba. Nice and clever, using his arms, wrapping them around to try and knock that ball free. An important one.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Plenty of noise coming from the scrum again, but it's CPUT. You get the go forward in the end, and Bovu's employed once more. Running hard into the shoulders of those CPUT players, not the biggest in the squad. Number 10 and the number 23, Alexander and Snyders. Stadler sends it back
Out 7.
to Fort Hare. Madiba gets his hands on the ball and the crowd comes alive. Chiwara looking to kick into space, not much angle on that one. Goes rather centrally, Snyders has time. Zlatlana putting pressure. Plenty of pressure, which has forced an errant kick from Snyders and puts the Blues on the front foot.
Yeah, good pressure. It's a kick chase that makes a kick. Wasn't the most accurate from Keith Chiwara. He saw some space open up. Of course, Chris Andrews was in two minds. He had to make a choice.
No. You need
Forte
to move
Blues
back.
did have numbers on the outside.
Open up.
Keith Chiwara, top point scorer for the Forte Blues, and just 14 points away from becoming the top point scorer in a season for the Forte Blues. But this is what it all comes down to. Line outs. Difficult one, but Fakela's on target.
Contested right off the bat and coming away with it in Gubelanga.
Let's go.
So Fort Hare unable to secure possession. And their first line out as they try to attack the CPUT line. Ivan Blois trying to find himself a gap. The Fort Hare Blues defense is spread. Illegal play on the ground, penalty to the visitors.
The Black Rhino, Mikobo Bovu. Nice and early on, we see him trying to make yardage. He's done that all season long for this unbeaten Forte Blues side. And we see early on, although the lineout was on target, unfortunately a very good contest from CPUT. They get the ball back. Ivan Blois has been so dangerous for them, but the ruck for me will be that fourth most important, almost like a set piece. They need to make decisions, they need to fan out. I don't think they can afford to commit too many players into the ruck and give away penalties.
Van der Heever at the back of the line-outs, and they get them all rolling. What a place to start a rolling ball from, and they have momentum. And Gubelanga tucks himself into the back, and they're going central. Blues players falling under their feet, but they keep their feet and they roll forward. Here comes CPUT. These are your champions looking to open the scoring in the Varsity Shield final. How far from there? How far from the line can they be? Not that far at all. But we're heading back for the penalty. Referee and Bewu saw an infringement, just not getting the ball over the line in the end. And Gubelanga, that one came from out of nowhere, from the depths of despair. CPUT driving almost 50 meters upfield.
Yeah, very smart. They're getting into the line out nice and quickly.
Never
They know it's open on Rolly van der Heever, who's a fantastic line-out jumper for his size. Just brilliant. Gets up in the air. Perfect technique. And look at that. Set up nicely, low body position. The maul is rolling. And just out of desperation, Siasanga and Gubelanga stopped short. Well, you can see how desperate they were. Moyo lost a boot in that stance of play. So access denied for CPUT, but they milked the penalty. Now, Fegan Lee Snyders to draw first blood.
The general with the first 3 points of this Varsity Shield final, and the reigning champions lead in Ellis.
CPUT, they thrive off of quick ball and a high-tempo game. So far, they've been so accurate with that in the first almost 10 minutes. Now, Ryan Maria had a kickoff. It wasn't accurate enough for me. Didn't get enough hang time on it. Can he do better this time? University of Fort Hare Blues need to gain a little bit of momentum. The crowd is right behind them.
Maria very contestable this time around. Coming forward to collect and mishandling is Joshua Paris. Fort Hare pouncing on the ball. Oh, wonderful shot from Tofar, coming up and trying to isolate.
It's used.
Well dealt with by Nkani. Now keeping it tight, Ayabulela, Basana. Moyo around the corner. Moyo! A hard ball runner. Scored the winning try that took this team to the final. Sidloi almost finding a gap. Ivan Bloy stays sharp. Madiba. Chiwara waits. Very flat back line for Fort Hare, and they go crashing in with Edwin Kumalo. Wazi Madiba, Keith Chiwara. Big hit in the midfield, upright body position from Sibabalo Mkani. Madiba Chiwara turns to the boot, charge down. A touch of chaos, something that CPUT love to capitalize on. Keenan Williams, the keenest of all.
He's so keen. And again, though, need to control that aggression. Giving away penalties in the final, it can cost you. And Fort Hare Blues lucky for it not costing them a try. And this is an interesting decision for them, and it's not the easiest of kicks. Now, we know Keith Chiwara, high quality, but you can tell he is struggling with a little bit of a niggle. It's a good charge down. The giant slayer, Alexander, he's held on nicely and stopped Bovu on 1 or 2 occasions already. You know how important he is in that first center berth, trying to defend against one of the hardest inside centers of the competition, Black Rhino Bovu. They've had some problems with their line-outs, so they choose to go for post. Keith Chiwara, an important one.
Not an easy one for Chiwara. The crowd absolutely love it. It's 3 points apiece.
It's incredible. They started singing Amakuicho to inspire Keith Chiwara. What a kick from him. So much pressure. Come at the moment. Well, come at the man.
Snyders looking to be the man for CPUT. He sends one to the touchline. It's a dream. Plucked out of the skies. Perfect form. CPUT straight onto the attack. Williams off to Van der Heever. So both teams failing to secure the restart.
It's a tackle now.
Allowing their opposition an immediate opportunity to come back at them. Engelbrecht. So many forwards in position to take this. Almost confusing for Engelbrecht. And the confusion leads to a mistake. Tofi Tofar unable to hold on to that ball. Nobody in motion really for the side in blue. And Tofar got the ball by his ankles.
Yeah, one of the seniors in the side. It's been huge, especially as ball carrying, but how good is this? The giant slayer. I mean, he's got a very high level of skill, not just heart. Darren Alexander. Perfect response off of the kickoff. You can see how tight this game is. What an inclusion into the side. He replaces Tilasande Ngobo. And the way they've been rotating, really brilliant from Alistair Tate.
Point! Sit!
Here it comes from Madiba. No scrum dominance whatsoever for the Blues thus far, and Madiba clears again. The familiar formation of Bovu charging
David
in.
now, 13. Stay inside.
Madiba.
Use.
Chiwara.
Let's stay, guys. Stay.
Under pressure from Keenan Williams. He sends one towards the touchline,
Over.
Snyder's Fields, and sends it to Stadler. The defensive line of the Blues coming up quite solidly, yet they play it through the hands.
Yes.
Solomons find Blois into ground he goes.
Let's use it. Let's use.
Engelbrecht to Van der Heever. So what he's all about, Van der Heever. And he spent a long time making an impact off the bench for CPUT during this competition, but lately he's been starting matches to great effect. Here comes Snyders. Snyders cuts the line and he finds Engelbrecht on the loop. Engelbrecht with wonderful interplay finds his captain in Gubelanga. Down on the 22-meter line, did he not knock that on? Engelbrecht holding on, scrambling. Remarkable work from the number 9, Snyders. Substituting at half-back, and Paris takes it into the thick. Ryan Maria, young 19-year-old, always keen on defense and attack. Snyder sees something in the corner. It goes over the top. He's looking for Andrews. The bounce on the inside is unkind for Keenan Solomons. The try line beckoning for CPUT. This is the danger of Fegan Lee Snyders, the general. Once he gets his eyes up and his head on a swivel, his opposition is deep in the dwang. And
Let's
now
use it
Madiba
now.
looks to
Use
clear
it.
from the base. Maria ready to apply his boot to the situation. Shea Klassen. So close to charging that down. Snyder's drop goal attempt. That was a
Go
dream,
out.
to
Out,
say the
out.
least. Such an angle on it as well. Ford here have the chance to counter-attack.
Advantage.
And a rather aimless kick downfield.
Over.
No chasing line, and Stadler is able to take them on. Moyo affects the tackle, but it is illegal. There is a frantic pace being set in the opening 40 minutes of this Varsity Shield final.
They've played board under 20. He's in the squad, Walter Moyo. He's top-notch, but he needs to
Look, number
control
5.
that aggression. Went in
Number 5.
quite high here. Lucky.
We can't be talking all the time. I can't be talking with you.
Yes, and I
On
think
your
he's just
discipline.
grabbed
You need to
a
take
secondary
ownership.
movement a little bit high there, but he needs to get into a lower body position much earlier. They cannot afford yellow cards. And more importantly, they cannot afford to have this CPUT side 5 meters from the line. We've
Just
seen them
manage
employ
they
the
need to be in
maul.
line with you.
To be quite honest, I'm not sure if the Forte Blues have
9.
figured out how to stop it yet.
Gubelanga, Shea
Mo.
Klassen, the dependable combination. The sack too late, a penalty advantage waits for CPUT. So they can roll the dice here, safe in the knowledge they'll have another go. Gubelanga. 5 meters out, CPUT. Engelbrecht sees some space. He finds babyface Konrad. Try given. Referee
Who's- run that way.
extends the arm,
That
and the
way.
big boy babyface is over in the corner.
It's a try for CPUT.
Oh, Matt Kunrad, he can't believe it. Sneaky play from the big man. Incognito out wide. Well, I don't know how a man of that size can be incognito, but he was clever, he was smart. And Hugo Engelbrecht is having an absolute stormer. Nice low body position, finishes like a left winger. Of course, with that side, he's going to absorb pressure, and that's in the corner. Picture perfect. Try time. What a way to score the first try in this FNB Varsity Shield final.
Thanks, Archie.
Missed his calling as a winger, Matthew Konrad. Entertaining throughout the Varsity Shield. The man they call Babyface was last year's CPUT Young Player of the Year. This year, shining in the Varsity Shield final.
Thank you,
A
sir.
challenging conversion now awaits for Fegan Lee Snyders. Snyders hanging, and the flags stay down. It's 8 points to 3. Time is flying by in this match.
Yeah, that's a sneaky play. Yugi Engelbrecht IDing nicely, keeping his depth. It was open for him, and University of Forte Blues, once the tempo has increased, struggling to fold over and to read, to ID where the space is. We've seen Fegan Lee Snyders get through a couple of times, and that time it was the Pretoria Boys High School old boy, babyface Kunrad, just 21 years old. What a season he's had.
Maria. Very effective with his last restart. This time sends it slightly deeper. Roland van der Heever able to receive, get his eyes up and look at the tacklers.
Let's use it.
Shea Klaassen. Shea getting on his way. Almost finding some space for himself. Stadler off to Snyders. The charge down took too long. Here they come, Keith Chuara. He can't control the ball. CPUT playing with fire.
So we got option. It's a knock into touch. No, from you guys. So options, either scrum or line out.
Line out, please.
Take a line out.
Brilliant pressure from Mikobo Pofu. Lifts his hands up, jumps up just to apply pressure to Fegan Lee Snyders. That's a great pluck out the air from Keith Chuara, and you could see he was just trying to get down to ground, not get tackled out. Unfortunately, he lost the ball. Desperate defense from CPUT. And, well, this is a worry. We've seen the Giant Slayer already slaying a giant in Bovo a couple of times. His tackle technique is just magnificent.
Let's go.
For an inside center, and he looks like he's struggling there. I'm not sure if it's a bit of a cramp.
Guys.
This will be a worry for CPUT. They do have Pilasande Ngobo, named junior arm for a reason.
Indeed, Mtunzi, but for the semi-final, Ngobo was on the bench as well. He was listed to start the match, then started on the bench, and as you can see, Alexander is on the field with the 23 for the second time running, essentially for CPUT. So one must presume that Ngobo is not sitting there 100% on the bench, nor is Alexander a like-for-like swap with Ngobo, who is a big, strong inside center, although he is young in years, as we, of course, enter our first strategy break of the evening, halfway through each half. Coaches get a chance to come on and speak to their teams.
Yeah, what a great coaching staff the CPUT side has. We saw their Jongi Nokwe, their baby face. Is Mafenyana besides him, will probably come on to replace him later on. Seen the impact that the bench has had for the CPUT side. Like I mentioned earlier, Alistair Tace has rotated the squad very nicely. Remember, their bye weekend they had just in the second week of this tournament, so they had it quite early on. And since then, it's just been back-to-back games where the University of Forte have had a bit of a rest. They had their bye 3 weeks ago.
You can see that scar on the top of Ngubalanga's head. Took a big knock in one of the previous matches. Had to go for some blood treatment. Looks to be a deeper cut than first suspected. And take a look at that member of the coaching staff, Jerome Parvater, straight down from the Currie Cup to coach your team, CPUT, in the Varsity Shield.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Now to Fezek Ngomonye, MEC of the Eastern Cape of Sport. Yeah. So let's talk. It's a final in Forte. Why is this moment worth celebrating for you, Sis Fezek?
Good evening to you, Kate, and good evening to the viewers at home. Today is very significant for us as the province of the Eastern Cape because we are the home of rugby. We have produced a lot of Springbok players. The World Cup winning Springbok players are from the province of the Eastern Cape. So this is the first final, Varsity Shield final, and it's very important for us as the province to host it, particularly in the University of Forte, a very historical university where once again we have produced presidents of Africa. About 5 presidents in Africa are from this university. So for us, it's a very important occasion.
Yeah, well, Elliot Fana is from this university. Unfortunately, he is not here to see this. What do you believe he would have been saying about today?
He would have been very proud of this team, the Luma Blues, because he's been engineering its success. From the first game until now, they have not been beaten. They're the only team that has won all the games. So I'm sure he would have been very proud. And unfortunately, he demised on the way from a match. So we are dedicating today to him.
Thank you, Sis Fezeka Ngomonye. That will be the MEC of Sport in the Eastern Cape. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
What a wonderful interview. Thank you, as always, to Kate down on the touchlines. But we are straight back into the action here. Ngubelanga under pressure with this line out on his own 5-meter line. Over the top, the Roli van der Heever. Pivotal ball runner for CPUT. Takes it clean, makes it look easy. Very well executed this by CPUT. The clearance from Snyder's not as good. And now the chance to run it back with Chikami into Ngubelanga. Massive opportunity for Fort Hare, and powering through now, Khumalo, almost making it all the way to the line. Madiba, they're playing blind, taking his eye off the ball for a moment. Susela.
14. Offside.
Tough stuff for Fort Hare,
Talk to me. Okay.
who
So,
continue to
option,
trail by
scrum.
just the 5 points. Referee Mbewu calls for the scrum on the instructions of Kamvelichle Fachela. Desperate to get their dominance at scrum time, Fort Hare, a dominance which they have enjoyed throughout the Varsity Shield season. But as it stands right now, they're struggling to get that front foot over the CPUT pack. Let's see if they can secure that right now on the 5-meter line.
Crouch. Point. Sit.
Loazi Madiba feeds. Breaking from the back, Zozoyana, almost to the line. Keenan Williams with a brilliant effort to hold him
On the
up.
line. Hands on
Madiba
the line.
calling for the forwards to be in attendance. Klosana is punished. Drilled backwards. Keeping it tight, Fort Hare around the corner. Forwards in position, Madiba steps away.
Advantage.
Another
6 blue
advantage
offside.
being played to the home team. As Khumalo goes to ground. Madiba ready to be employed now. Mzozoyana dropping his head and moving forward. Keenan Williams tackling like a flank forward out there, the left wing, and now almost reaching out for the line. Fort Hare. Madiba waits
Hands
to
up.
clear.
Advantage. New advantage number 2
Another
offside.
advantage coming to Fort Hare as they are now putting undue pressure on CPUT's line. Could be in danger of seeing referee Mbewu will go to the pocket if they're not careful.
Time's off.
Oh, you're big.
Just need to come down now. I'm telling you, your hands are offside. Your feet might be on the line, but your hands are offside. You need to pick up your hands and then take it from there. So we have penalty here and the penalty there. Just talk to them now. Discipline.
I'm sorry, man. Sorry, we hear you.
Go. It's fine. Yeah, number 11. Yeah. Okay, sure. And also number 11. Just check his tackles. Cross cutter. 11. Yeah. Just give them time. Just give them time to sort it out.
He's been putting in crunching hits next to the ruck. In the defense of the line, Keenan Williams on your screen there, the left wing. He's been special this year in the Varsity Shield.
Yeah, it really has. Paul Stubbs, you know,
let's
that
now
warning
option
was for
scrum.
grass cutter.
Scrum option.
Of course, he said your hands cannot be beyond the penalty line. And even though we all think that you should have your feet behind the last
Time
man's
back on.
feet, when you're that close to the line, it's so easy to lean forward, trying to get into that tripod shape, to get lower than the attack and try to get underneath them, to stop them that close to the try line. That's desperate defense on CPUT. But this is a part of the game that the Fort Hare Blues will be backing themselves. Can they milk a penalty here?
Bind.
Can they try to milk that yellow card? Very
Sit.
important scrum.
Madiba feeds. CPUT get the wheel and Zozoyana from the back. Could not extend the arm for the line, but they're over now! Surely the try must be given. Ayabulela Kosana sends Alice into a frenzy.
Fans are on their feet. Ayabulela Kosana, big characteristic of his game. Close to the try line, the pick and go. He's a big boy. Very difficult to stop him. And well, Tabane Zozoyana with the pick and go from the base of the scrum. Very good thinking there from Zozoyana. He knows he can reach, but he recycles it. He trusts in his systems. Kosana shows him that believing in your teammates is the exact kind of game you want to play, especially in finals rugby.
Chuara. Simple as you like. Once again, inspiring the joy of the fans. The fans that rock back in the stands in 2022. What a joy it is. That try that was scored was during the Pink Shorts power play, which will result in a donation being made to the Itemba Foundation addressing mental health issues in our land, part of the Speak Up campaign of the Varsity Cup and Shield in 2022.
But on or behind.
Yeah, it's quick ball, that's what makes that try, you know. Very good awareness from Zozoyana to place it in Kosana. What a finish.
Snyders sends it high. Zozoyana taking it right back at them again. He was such a miss when he was out injured for a few matches in the middle of the season. His comeback in the semi-finals couldn't have been better timed with the absence of Gigi Tosholwana. Snyders sends it downfield, and all of a sudden the Blues doing all of the running. CPUT sending the ball their way time and again, but it's pinged back towards Stadler by Sidroy. Kane Stadler, confident as ever, starts the counter-attack. Keenan Williams into the contact, fine tackle by Nkani. Hugo Engelbrecht, Conrad, and now Snyders coming from deep, trying to create an extra number on that blind side. Josephus takes CPUT forward. Positive period of play now, putting together the phases. CPUT, Rodi van der Heerbe. Engelbrecht, down it goes from Paris. Another knock-on from CPUT, a couple of basic errors in the first half, specifically so from this big man right here, Joshua Paris, one of the players that has carried this CPUT side throughout the year. They call him Uncle Waffles, also a DJ in the team, the big boy.
That guy couldn't do anything with Fela. He was there in a position to tackle.
Josh Paris. Don't let that age fool you, just 21 years old, but he plays with true grit. He's been an asset for this side, not just with the way he carries the ball over the advantage line, the way he defends. He's also a good line-out option as well, being 2 meters tall. So far, the crowd really is getting behind University of Forte, but although CPUT are enjoying the lion's share of possession, you can see very early on there's a chess battle for territory. Both sides changing it up nicely. It was good to see CPUT not just kicking it back, but trying to gain territory in another way. Forte Blues, those 60% so far. They seem to be winning that battle, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Finding it interesting, Fudge, that CPUT are not kicking for the touchdowns from open play to force more lineouts on Fort Hare.
I'm not seeing that on this side, ear to ear.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point you make. Kane Stadler, of course, doesn't back himself to kick as much as... We've seen him have a few boots upfield, but he's more of a counter-attacking fullback, where Sidroyi would win that battle between a ping-pong with Stadler. So choosing to go for the counter-attack, you can see they've got the big runners like Keenan Williams, who they use nicely to get over that advantage line, but unfortunately, you've got to have a good reaction speed to those runs to not give away that steal. And the University of Forte Blues applying good pressure on their defensive line as well.
Madiba feeds, Zozoyana breaks from the base again, and he feeds Madiba, who cannot hold on to the ball. Keenan Williams picks up, CPUT have a chance to continue playing rather than set a scrum. However, the scrum battle really is going well for CPUT early on, considering the quality of Fort Hare throughout this competition. A bit of a surprise that they haven't been able to really get CPUT shaking in their boots. Never mind heading backwards at scrum time.
And you could just see from this wide shot, Luazi Madiba, how deep he's standing, waiting for that kick.
Just a knock-on.
Which is why it's so important to have that press, and oof, this is unlucky. Mzozoyana so dangerous from the base of a scrum, and he links up very nicely with Lwazi Madiba there. They hold on to that one. They draw in Keenan Williams. They might have had a one-man overlap. Well, could have seen a try from the middle of the pitch. Just how dangerous this University of Fort Hare Blues side can be when launching attacks, not just from their scrums, but from their lineouts. We haven't seen that from their lineouts in recent times, but this still remains their asset, and it won them the semi-final. Kunrad doing well against Mumalo so far, though.
Point! Sit!
Engelbrecht. Here come Fort Hare, and a tight head all of a sudden. Mzozoyana from the base. Keenan Williams in over the ball. Did not support his own body weight, I don't believe, and a penalty comes to the University of Fort Hare.
Your knees are on the player.
And after the fiery start from CPUT, Fort Hare really taking control of this first half admirably.
Yeah, it must be said, they're using that scrum again. No surprises there. We spoke about how it's heavy underfoot. It suits Mumalo, and there's that tilt of the head. Tabane, Zozoyana, so quick out the blocks. That's what makes it difficult for the open side flanker, Keenan Solomons, to stop him before he gets on over the advantage line. And then trying to catch up to him, will usually take another man in front of him, Zozoyana, to tackle. And Keenan Williams had the right idea. He was over it. Unfortunately, just pressing his knees against the player, but it looked good. Very unlucky there, nothing much in it. And so important to be as accurate as you can be. Referee Mbewu has done a great job so far controlling this game. And he's getting around the pitch nicely. Keith Chiwara will be backing himself much closer.
Chiwara. The crowd will tell you, it's been a while since we could say that.
Well, he has 6 caps for his country, the Zimbabwe Sables. He showed that quality here on the greatest stage of them all. Didn't have the greatest game in the semi-final, but he's looking on point here.
Lee Snyders sends it high. This very contestable CPUT players not after it at a great pace. Mzozoyana can't handle. Solomons gets it away to fresh onto the field. Pilasande Ngobo. Well, the Giant Slayer must have gone off then. Ivan Blois out to Keenan Williams. High body position. Fort Hare trying to force CPUT into touch. They just can't make it. Paris now. A real handful, Paris on the run. Engelbrecht to Snyders. That one misdirected over the top of the head of Ngobo. Now sends it off to the most capped player in the CPUT side, Christopher Andrews. Trying for the turnover, Mdlatlana. Here is the try scorer for CPUT. Unexpected one perhaps, Matthew Kunrad scoring in the corner like a wing to open the try scoring in this final. Engelbrecht. Tofa, sending players to deck the big number 5. He is a handful. Engelbrecht knocks it on at the base. Big mistake with less than 10 minutes to play in the first half. A first half which is starting to swing the way of the University of Fort Hare.
Oh, it's Eddie Mumalo, one of the strongest men in that Fort Hare Blues side. It just shows you how important Tofi Tofar is for this CPUT side. And unfortunately, they weren't able to recycle cleanly. And a leg getting in the way of Yugi Engelbrecht there. Maybe just trying to speed up play a little bit. And the ball getting away from Engelbrecht. He's been top quality though in this first 30 minutes of FNB Varsity Shield final. What a final we've had on our hands. University of Fort Hare Blues really absorbing the pressure coming from CPUT.
Crouch.
2 sides to attack from now. They've loaded that right-hand side closest to the far side touchline.
Sit!
And Zozoyana, look how much space he has. 10 meters on the other side to try and gain some momentum.
Backing their scrum again now, Fort Hare. The arm is extended for a penalty advantage. Mikoba Bovu goes over the top, improvising, gets it away to Ryan Maria. Now trying to apply pace on the outside. Maria's after this one, it's been mishandled. Stadler's the man at the back. They're still at it now, Fort Hare. Mzatlana places it back. Mzotayana trying around the corner.
Held up.
Held up over the line.
Offside
We're going
line.
back for the penalty. It is electrifying rugby in Alice this evening.
Oh, that's just such smart play
Number 9,
from
offside.
the big black rhino.
Offside. That was held up.
I didn't even expect that little chip over the top.
No.
It's good pressure from Pilasande Ngobo.
Number 9.
But unfortunately, just came off his hand. Well collected and good soft hands shown by him. No surprises there. They choose to go for the scrum. Desperate defense. They did so well to go backwards here. Maria, good pressure from him. Williams couldn't collect, but Kane Stadler does so well to try and jump on the ball. Zatlana, good hands. And just look at the desperation here. Snyders stays nice and frosty. Comes back and, well, Snyders, Stadler, and Yugi Engelbrecht. Not the biggest of men, but they've stopped a very powerful Zozoyana over the line. 5 penalties for CPUT, 4 for Forte Blues. We knew penalties would come.
Crouch.
This is an important one for them not to give away a penalty. Huge scrum for Kunwa.
Bind.
Numala seems to have figured him out now.
Sit! Instability. I need a complete stability. Both pairs are just moving sideways. Both pairs. Eddie.
Calling for the reset.
Look here, forward.
Desperate to make at least a penalty out of this scrum.
After the feed, I need to see a complete
But of
stability.
course, first prize
So
is
that
to
we don't
drive
have
your
this
opposition
issue of
over the
Eddie
line,
Shaving.
score a pushover
We
try.
good? Let's go. Go, Chase. 3 calls, 3 actions, that's all.
Go ahead. 200, please.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Here we go. Wazi Madiba feeds CPUT with a ferocious drive. Mzozayana changing plans, almost making it to the line. Desperation stations have been manned for CPUT late on in the half, and the penalty comes their way. What an absolutely colossal play from the reigning champions. A try there really could have swung the balance away from them towards the end of this first half, but they've held on for dear life on their try line.
Just diffuse the pressure, that touch finder, but this is desperation. Lord Che does well to cut the legs of Mzozoyana, was getting closer and closer to that try line.
Time's
Good
off.
pressure on him. And a fantastic jackal performed. Out of desperation, they needed it. Yamkela Mzozoyana, one of the senior players in this side, has been an absolute asset. Also takes the ball at the back of the line out very well. And he's been really important as well. Rodney Chikami, one of the seniors in the side. He's also got some national
Half a meter.
rugby experience for the Zimbabwe Sables. He's been in the squad. Big line out.
Time back on.
Moyo will want to disrupt.
Captain Ngubelanga feeds, and Moyo does indeed disrupt. Snatching the ball back for Fort Hare, presenting another attacking opportunity. Fachela through the tackle. And a penalty goes against them again, holding on the ground. CPUT are attacking the ball at the breakdown. This time, it's Biggeroli van der Heerwe.
Big strong thighs. Does so well to get over the ball nice and quick. We did see Fakela breaking through tackles, but again, difficult for his support to get there quick enough and recycle. He's got Mkani there, not the quickest of players on the pitch. Does so well to fight through the tackle, but he lands a bit awkwardly. Can't place it before Roli van der Heerwe performs the jackal, and maybe doesn't really look like he's supporting his weight fully, but he was the first man in and deserves it.
Not short on hefty individuals in the scrum. Shea Klaassen getting
We haven't set
completely
the
the
line
wrong
out.
message
He's
there.
not here.
He's gone up early. And now Joshua Paris is calling for a
Just make
change
sure
in
they're in
plan.
line with you.
Yeah, so impressive how Moya was able to take that with 2 hands.
And the change in plan goes back to Roli van der Heever at the back. Perfect execution from Ngubalanga. Finding him at the peak of his jump, and now they try a rolling maul again. Remember just how successful they were with the effort earlier in the half. They almost got all the way over the try line, and Fort Hare struggling to stop the momentum of this one again. Not enough numbers in there for the Blues, and the side wearing the light blue, able to march on and keep this ball under control at the back with their captain Ngubalanga. No penalty advantage yet, and more players pile in perfect formation for CPUT. They reload, and now they've got it stretched out of the back. A penalty advantage eventually comes. Engelbrecht sends it to Snyders. Stadler into the line. Madiba's been shed. Sidloyi with the tackle into touch.
4, come to me.
15 on 15 violence. They want to keep their cool now. That's a big hit from Sidloyi. Uses the touch line to great effect as an extra defender. That was a beautiful line from Kane Stadler. They had numbers. Picked out nicely by that Fagan Lee Snyder's pass.
It's been a third one. Sacking them all.
Can you just please watch 15 days? Stay in the face.
I'll watch that, ne? But I'm telling you now, it's been the third time you are sacking them all illegally, so he needs to go off. Yellow card.
Under the protestations of his captain Fatiela,
You're good there, Vusi?
Ayabulela Kwasana is giving his marching orders a yellow card. He'll be back in 10 minutes.
4.
A young man who attended St. John's College. He's left his team down to 14.
And you heard the words coming from the referee in Bewu. Third time he's collapsed the maul illegally. Gave the referee no choice but to give away that yellow card. It's clear that CPUT are trying to use the maul as one of their attacking weapons. And why not? No one's marking Rowley at the back. And Siasanga Ngubelanga is
set the line out,
just hitting the bullseye every time. You can see University of Fort Hare Blues not committing any players to the back. It is a difficult throw. So the risk is on CPUT, but Ngubelanga executing perfectly.
Real trouble right now for Fort Hare. They have to defend another rolling maul 5 meters out from the line, but make that 8 or make that 10. A great counter shove, and Ngubalanga feeds to Engelbrecht. Snyders off to Blois. Blois sees a gap but can't get through.
It's a tackle now, tackle!
Tackle call, they must release him. Engelbrecht sends it back to the left. Tough pass to handle for Van der Heever. What a tackle from Mzozayana, laying the big man low. Number 8 taking down the number 8, and Engelbrecht sends it left again. Snyders with the dummy and go. Always so convincing due to his prolific distribution. Every other time besides that, which when he dummies. Engelbrecht plays it short to Joshua Paris. Almost powers his way over the line. Here comes Tofar. Doffy Tofar will not be denied, but it's been knocked on right at the death. Referee Mbewu calling a knock against the big number 5. What a defensive effort from Fort Hare at the death of this half.
Oh, big Rafiq Tofar. Huge defensive play here from the University of Fort Hare Blues, right up against their touchline. Loazi Madiba does so well to try and push him backwards well. And it looks like Tofar might have gotten it over, but it also looks short. There's nothing in it. Millimeters here.
That looks solid, Mtunzi. A solid grounding. Wow, what a first half we've witnessed. And with seconds left, it's coming down to the crunch.
Yeah, and they're giving it everything, the big sumos. See that high five between Eddie Ngumalo and babyface Kunrad. Been battling really nicely, but it all comes down to this big moment just before half-time. Tofar chooses to go for it, and that's where the knock-on comes. But did he have downward pressure on the line?
Okay. Yeah, it's over now. Last movement.
Last movement, then.
Let's go, guys. Here's the mark here.
Big scrum. Last movement now of the first half. And inconclusive, that try there. It looked good, but I must say, for me, it did look a little bit short. Most of the ball was definitely short there, and I think the downward pressure, he does knock it on. And that shows just the difference between having that fire in your belly and the ice in your head. Should have recycled. It's not over yet, though. University of Forte Blues need to find touch here.
Sit! Steady.
Crucial scrum for both sides. Fort Hare look to be holding their form very well, but now they start going backwards. Madiba under pressure, sends it to Chiwara. The hooter coming at the perfect time for the number 10, who is under pressure from Shea Klaassen, and he powers the ball into touch here at the Davidson Field at the University of Fort Hare in the final of the 2022 Varsity Shield, the 11th playing of the Varsity Shield final. And there is Shea Klaassen, vice-captain of the back-to-back champion CPUT, the best side in this competition for the last 3 years at least. And they're looking to back it up again and make it 3 titles here on foreign ground tonight. But at halftime, it is the Fort Hare Blues looking for their first ever Varsity Shield title, who lead by 13 points to 8.
When it comes to the long and short of golf, Hot 1027 presenters Simon Hill and Dylan Rogers have the hole-in-one fans are looking for. Dale Hayes adds his extensive knowledge to the mix as these enthusiasts chat to the biggest names in the sport.
This weekend on SuperSport. On Saturday, the Brazilian samba with the crafty Angolans for a Champions League semi-final spot. The Sharks venture into tricky waters when they collide with the URC table-toppers. And the Gypsy King puts his crown on the line in an all-British heavyweight blockbuster. Then on Sunday, who will drink from the Winners' Cup when the Sunshine Tour heads to Dadeburg? Formula One straps in for a high-speed battle at the iconic Imola circuit. And a ferocious Merseyside derby cranks up the pressure in the Reds' title chase. Up your game this weekend on SuperSport. Get all the sporting action. Upgrade to DStv Premium. The big guns have arrived in Assen. The series leader, the 6-time winner, the reigning champion.
That was a classic Razgatlioglu move. Side by side again. Big moment there. The heavyweights of 2021 mixing it at the front again a year later. Brilliant stuff. Another race for the ages. He's a Sunday rider. It's a double for Alvaro Bautista.
Who will conquer the Cathedral of Speed? Feel the heat at round 2 of the Superbike World Championship in the Netherlands. Live on SuperSport. Only on DStv.
In the heart of the Eastern Cape, the Varsity Shield final is being contested tonight by the University of Fort Hare Blues and CPUT. What a first half it has been, played on a knife's edge. Each side trying to impose themselves on the other. The rolling maul of CPUT was looking mighty good early on, almost got them over the line.
Yeah, really good start for them. They've had a few really good mauls. They've actually ended up milking a yellow card. This was brilliant. To the back of the line out, money ball. Ngubelanga to big Rolly van der Heever. Look at the strength, look at the effort from van der Heever. Low body position, communicating nicely. He knows they're getting closer to the try line. And it was the first try for their captain, Ngubelanga.
Fegan Lee Snyders has been immaculate this evening, and he'll have to continue doing just that for CPUT as the Blues are looking on song. Chiwara tried to get one over the top there as both defenses are looking solid, but that led to a penalty, and Chiwara has been on form from the tee tonight, so crucially for Fort Hare. Missed a couple in the semi-final and has regained his confidence in no time flat.
Yeah, that just shows you the quality of Keith Chiwara. Not an easy kick by any margin. Does so well. And then CPUT had a go. Good defense from the University of Fort Hare Blues, but you can see that they've unfortunately been 3 men beaten by 1 pass, and it's baby face Kunrad in the corner. What a joy to see. the sumo scoring winger tries. That was very smart play from Yugi Engelbrecht to pick him out as well. Low body position, finishes like he knows. That's a great finish from the big prop. Wonderful skill. Kunran.
Poster-worthy finish from the big number 3. Absolutely brilliant in the corner. Ball in the right hand, using his shoulder and his power. Last year's Young Player of the Year for CPUT, opening the try scoring in this Varsity Shield final. But Mzozo Yana came to the fore for the University of Fort Hare in the first half.
I mean, that for me is made by Mzozo Yana. He knows he's got over. He could have reached for the line, but it was too risky. Recycles nicely, trusts his players behind him, and, well, Kosana, what choice does he give you? Brilliant from the big man.
Kosana ended up getting a yellow card for himself towards the end of that half, which would have been disappointing for the big number 4. But now we're going to take a look at how this half went down. Mtunzi, break down those numbers.
CPUT are enjoying a lot of possession, but unfortunately they've taken away their kicking game. Fort Hare Blues winning that territory battle and making sure that they score points on those visits. But it's game on, nothing much separating the two sides. Unfortunately, those handling errors, 7 for CPUT, and it's come at times where they could have scored.
Thank you to our commentary team in English, Afrikaans, and isiXhosa. So let's talk to Professor Sakela Buhlungu, University of Fort Hare Vice Chancellor. So, sir, verbalize how proud Fort Hare is collectively tonight.
Thank you very much. We are exceedingly proud. We're proud of this team. This is a team that is in good form. This is a team that's hungry for the trophy. And this is a team that is in touch with the pulse of the community here. Everyone expects this team to win, and we're very confident that they'll pull it off.
Okay, so if they do win, does your staff get a day off tomorrow?
Well, give me a minute to think about that. It's a very important question and something to consider.
Well, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And what a game of cricket we've got.
A new captain, what is he going to do?
Are you ready to go? Oh, what a night.
Wonderful test match cricket.
Ready to stand before all that you beautiful. Are you ready to fight?
The team here rise in applause. Gets the first test match. Perfect.
Got the heart of a hero. Spirit of a champion.
Light up the game. Light up your passion. The 2022 cricket season. Light it up on SuperSport. On DSTV, live and on demand anywhere you like.
Do your job, man. That's all we want for 14 minutes. Can we show them why we're the best in the world, eh? One thing the jersey does is tell us what we're about. It's going to show us today.
Well, you could almost call it the tour against all odds.
The changing room for the Lions will be buzzing after that.
I think it's time for us to get one another's respect back.
The Springboks had suspended training following a positive COVID test.
You must cancel the test match now.
It's not about hiding away from the challenge. It's about embracing the challenge.
The decision you make will determine destiny today.
And the tension builds. That's what you want from a Lion series. You go either way.
You play for this country that desperately needs you. They play for 4 different countries.
It is a chance to become immortal.
Bow to the Kings, the giant killers and the winners as the next gen face the old guard.
Take your shackles to me down. I'm the king, you're the killer. I'm coming up like a winner.
That was seriously impressive.
From the humble 250s to the illustrious ATP 1000 events where maximum ranking points are up for grabs.
Just ridiculous tennis. Brilliant.
Oh my goodness me. What a point. Catch all the the intrigue of the ATP Tour live on SuperSport. Brought to you by M&G Investments. Invest in consistency.
We are in Alice for the second half of the Varsity Shield final. It is an absolutely mouth-watering prospect this second 40 minutes. Just 5 points separating the two sides. CPUT, the back-to-back champions of this competition, looking to make it number 3, go level with the Ixias with 3 titles and be joint number 1 in the history of the Varsity Shield. Snyders to get us back underway. This one very short, very contestable. Fort Hare miss out, but Fachela, the captain, able to get back on the ball. Madiba patiently waits and then clears. Mkani takes it in. Very composed, the Fort Hare Blues. Dissimilarly to what they were in the semi-final, where it appeared that their hometown crowd put the nerves in them. This time, Stedler's got the nerves in him. Knocks on the high ball. Will be a scrum to Fort Hare, and the scrum of Fort Hare was looking ferocious towards the end of the first half. CPUT will have to get themselves back together and contest at that set piece.
So look at the effort from Ngumalo holding on Chikami. Unfortunately, Chikami's just misread that kick. Very good hoist from Fegan Lee Snyders, cleaned up by Fakela, of course.
Speed the formation up. Let's speed it up. Speed the formation up. Let's go.
Well, that's good to hear from the referee Mbewu. Speed that formation up. So good battle in the first half. But they get some words of encouragement. Fort Hare Blues have the ascendancy.
Point! Sit!
CPUT making an impact at the first scrum, such an impact that they win themselves a penalty.
Just pulling out under pressure.
That's a real shake-up for the Blues. Getting on the front foot towards the end of the first half. CPUT showing they are not done at scrum time.
Yep, and it's an awkward one for the Blues, who gave away that penalty for pulling out of the contest. So very well measured and well timed, the shove of CPUT. Getting the better of Nkani, who was pulling out there. Good pressure on that far side as well. Kunrad and Ngumalo, the battle continues. That was an important one for CPUT. They would have been desperate to score points first in the second half. Very important line out for them. Called a short one. And they're looking good with the maul.
Klaassen in the middle. Unable to receive. They surely would have been looking to set another rolling maul, which has caused such problems to Fort Hare throughout this match, but still in possession. Meters out from the line of Fort Hare. Snyder's looking for options. Beats a few tacklers. Sets the ruck. Engelbrecht scanning his options left and right. What a ball to his captain in Kubalanga. Almost found his way to the try line. Fine tackle. Engelbrecht, Snyders, this time the dummy does not work. Very well met in defense by Susela. Empowering into this breakdown, looking to disrupt. Almost managing to Fort Hare. Ngubelanga tidies up and gets CPUT moving forward again. Engelbrecht sends it, and now Stadler hangs out the palm. Brilliant tackle in the end from Ndlatlana.
Oh, no, there's the ball,
Starting the second half as they did the first. Keenan Solomon's punished by aggressive defending. Engelbrecht for the line. Yogi Engelbrecht finds a way. He finds a way for CPUT. And they draw level before the kick.
That will never help you. You are pushing the ball against him. That will never help. Just play the rugby.
Sixth Varsity Shield try for Yogi Engelbrecht. He's frosty under pressure, just like his partner in crime, Fagan Lee Snyders, who did well to absorb that pressure coming from the initial defensive press from the University of Fort Hare Blues. But Yogi Engelbrecht, just a show of the ball, kept that defensive line guessing for long enough for him to place that ball. That's brilliant play from the scrummy. It was a difficult take from the line out. No contest. They couldn't set up the maul, but Kunra did so well at the back to collect that recycle for them to have a secondary goal. They've turned it into points. This to put them in the lead. Snyders.
This is the general. The heads nod, the flags fly. CPUT take a 2-point lead. They've got fans in the stands as well.
Fakela does well to defend, to bring the man down, but that just keeps Moyo guessing. He couldn't commit. He had to watch Che Klaassen on the outside. That took just enough time away from the Forte Blues defense for Yugi Engelbrecht to get the 5-pointer. Turned into 7. They're in the lead now. They've scored some points. Remember, Forte Blues are still down a man. They will be for 2 minutes because of Hosanna's illegal sacking.
Maria, perhaps with that in mind, taking his time with the restart. He sends it long, Maria. Straight into the arms of Snyders. He launches it back in the opposite direction. Attacking line out for Fort Hare.
Top quality rugby. That's a good exit. Maybe didn't get in as much distance as you would have liked, but he's found touch. The Forte Blues. Maria kicking it nice and deep.
Open up. Let's close it.
Good defensive press. They're in a good attacking position now, but first things first.
How many are you?
Important line
Okay.
up for Moyo to take now.
The second line out. 0 from 1 becomes 0 from 2. The disruption at line out time continuing from the semi-finals. Ngubelanga takes it into contact for CPUT. They have targeted that area of play, and the Fort Hare Blues struggling to cope thus far. Mdladlana just about managing to handle that one. He sends it back to his fullback, Sidroi, who under pressure finds touch.
And you can see Snyders, he always makes sure that he's taken into account every single option he has. Holding on to it there. Sidroi has been an asset at the back. It's that boot of his. He stumped it very nicely there, and those CPUT will be happy. Forte Blues will be happy he's coming back on the pitch. Just 30 seconds left for Hosanna.
Klaassen's backing up. This time, Moyo disrupts the CPUT ball, slapping it back to the Blues of Fort Hare. Chiwara sends one high, and they are off and running after this. Stadler under pressure. So brilliantly taken. A fair catch called, and Stadler throws out that aggressive palm again. Around the back comes Andrews. Andrews looking to get his hands on this ball, but he just can't drag it in. Jet shoes. He would have been in for all money.
Changing lanes. Okay, get back. We'll talk it about downtime. Right. This penalty here. Changing lanes.
Referee Mbewu again. He's been spot on. A couple of 50-50 calls, but you'll always get them in every game. And in a final, I think it's important to keep playing rugby, and we've heard that from Mbewu. Put in a bit of a grey area, unfortunately, the Blues defensive line there. You need to know if you're going to make it to the player, then contest. If you're not going to make it, then stand back the 10 meters. Of course, you get a free catch if you take it cleanly. There we see Mikobo Povu, Susela also taking advantage of. That's a good handoff, and he knows there's no one back. And who else to chase your kick but Jet Shoes? Absolutely burns them, and it's a try for all money for him. Could see the grimace on Mzozoyana, saying some prayers. Unlucky CPUT. Still on the attack, though.
Ngubelanga feeds. This time it is Lord Shea Klaassen in the center of the line out. The Blues trying to drive CPUT towards the touchline. Snyders takes the ball. Chiwara charges with his face. And now it's off to Provu. Ryan Maria, Sidroi on the outside. Defenders in position for CPUT, and they wrap him up. Can they hold him up? Spectacular effort from CPUT. They win possession back on Ngubelanga off to Christopher Andrews. No space to work with on the left touchline. In over the ball, Mzozoyana. Brilliant work, and now forcing the second turnover well off of his feet. No rights to go for the ball, Keenan Williams.
Yeah, Mzozoyana's a specialist at the jackal. does so well. He's in over it. He fights for the ball with his arms, gives the referee the perfect picture, comes away with it, then pumps his legs to get over the advantage line. Picture perfect jackal performed there by the special Mzozoyana. And, well, unfortunately, Keenan Williams had his eyes on Mzozoyana. Saw him go to ground, showed daylight, went for the ball. He had all rights to do that, but he needed to stay on his feet. And unfortunately, still carried on off of his feet. So he's given away a cheap penalty. It's coast-to-coast rugby here. Got a game on our hands. This is brilliant. Bram Zozoyana goes up against Williams. Williams then shows daylight. He's there. He's over it, but he needed to, unfortunately, support his weight. It's a clever place, though, from Zozoyana, who made it difficult for Williams.
Fachela. Moyo in the center of the line out. Finally, they get it perfect on their own ball. The Blues, what can they make of this? Fachela waits in the back of this rolling maul, which is heading sideways, significantly sideways, and Kunrat able to break through the center and affect the ball carrier. Madiba able to clear. Chiwara off to Mikobo Bovu. Maria in the back line, marked by Blois. Two of the most exciting players in this competition, the two number 13s. Kosana back onto the field. He'll be desperate to make an impact. CPUT fighting for this one on the ground. Madiba. Kumalo. Such an effective ball carrier. So aggressive with the leg drive. Kumalo, Madiba trying to snipe.
Leave it now, Cappy.
Nothing presented itself.
Thank you.
Bubalanga called off the ball. Moyo picks up from the base and goes at the defenders. Just how he scored his try, obviously from closer range in the semi-final against Wusu. And a penalty comes the way of Fort Hare. Now, we've just seen CPUT turn down a very obvious kick at posts with Snyders. They went for the line out and came up snake eyes going for those points. Do you think Fort Hare will change?
Come again? Talking to me, Archie?
Yeah, that's Sibabalo Mkani on the ground, and well, yes.
Yeah, get back.
Langa just saying, Pagama Gendot, stand up, get on your feet, please. Well, there it is.
But now we can't play because the penalty is right here.
You don't want that, and unfortunately, I think it was Tofar who was just a little bit high there. High body position, he's pressed off sides as well. Although Mkani is going down to ground, Jafar is quite high there, but they won't get a yellow card. Mkani was going low, but not much in it. I don't think Jafar was going for the neck or the head region. He just put out his arms trying to cradle, trying to hold Mkani, but it was offside, so they'll get the penalty. And well, you asked for Stubbs, what do you go for? Do you go for touch or to take posts? I think
it's the same as yours earlier on in the
the contesting from CPUT. Sochi Kami trying to take it in the front. He was denied. So they'll go for points, although they'll be backing them more. That's wonderful to see. He definitely has been one of the heroes of the side.
One of the heroes of the side, one of the heroes of the tournament. He's done it again. Keith Chiwara puts the side into the lead. The fans that rock in full voice tonight in Alice. We are well into the second half now. The intrigue will only continue to pile on top of each other. Snyders gets us back underway. Down it comes into the arms of Langaletu Susela. Madiba. Kosana has been effective since returning to the field. Okay. Protecting a narrow 1-point lead now. Fort Hare on their home ground. The Davidson Rugby Field here in Alice. The first time they are ever hosting the Varsity Shield final. The second time they are being represented in a Varsity Shield final.
Over.
Snyders looking to initiate the counter-attack. Snyders has support in the form of Stadler. Chooses not to hit him. And a high tackle results. Cheap penalty to give away for Fort Hare. Gubalanga carries on.
You have an advantage, let's go.
Engelbrecht. Yugi Engelbrecht. The most recent try scorer in this match. Solomons Weighs up his options. It's off to Conrad, and now Snyder's send it wide to Keenan Williams. Damati puts it to the toe, over the top. Anybody in position to chase? There is. Pilasande Ngobo almost getting a fortunate bounce. Madiba loses his feet, and CPUT all of a sudden in position to put masses of pressure on Fort Hare. Keenan Williams taking a fair chance with the angle at which he entered that ruck.
6 blue.
Fort Hare not eager to clear their lines immediately. Working on the
11
angle.
blue. Use it now.
Now Madiba has space to send it back. And under pressure, Sitloi finds touch.
They're not happy with that kick, Sitloi. But they've absorbed the pressure there. They're still under pressure. Keith Chiwara, shake of his head. Knows they need to hold on just with this 1-point lead.
Need you guys to set the line out here. That's it.
Gubelanga, Roli van der Heever. They set the rolling maul, this time trying to go on the inside shoulder of van der Heever. They cannot keep their feet. Engelbrecht off to Snyder's. Ngobo, this one going behind Blois. The back line has not been firing thus far this evening, CPUT. And Kane Stadler gets punished into the deck of the Davidson field. A penalty advantage.
Get back. I haven't come to you yet. You've got 2 penalties, yeah? Yes. That's careless. But you have another one there. Yeah, on my AR that side, you have another penalty. So either take a penalty there or take a penalty here for careless tackle. That's it.
Wow, interesting call there from Beru. They were playing the advantage. They did have a penalty advantage already, but Wikobo Bovu has got strong arms. Held on to Kane Stadler, who we know has got dancing feet.
Check back 10, back 10.
It was always going to be difficult for him, but I don't think it was careless. I think he planted the shoulder nicely, and it was a bit of a slam dunk, a painful one. And this was good. Roli van der Heever at the back, taken nicely. You see Tofi Tofar, unfortunately, unable to keep his feet, like you mentioned, Paul Stubbs, and here's the step. It's a step.
There's a mark chance.
Strong right arm of Bovu.
Just stand in front of him.
Getting the better
Give
of
them
Stadler.
numbers. There's 6 men.
10 penalties
Then we
conceded.
come, now we can go.
CPUT camping in the 22. Can they score points?
Shea Klassen in the center, and they set the rolling maul. The Fort Hare Blues, the resistance at first is good, but will they be able to resist the corkscrew? Here they come again. CPUT now with Ngubelanga at the back, and Ngubelanga ready to roll over the line. Try to CPUT. The reigning champions rip into the lead again.
This is what they do so well. As soon as you score points against them, they come with a certain kind of energy. They start applying pressure. And Roli van der Heever through that gets his 5th Varsity Shield try. Great take from Che Klassen. Very good lift as well from the CPUT heavyweights. They set up very nicely here. The platform is set nicely. They know that sooner or later the defense is going to shift. Great patience shown by Ngubelanga, who makes sure.
Roland van der Heever, try in the semi-final, try in the final, and how decisive might that one be as the general, Fegan Lee Snyders, lines up the extra 2.
Thank you.
Fegan Lee Snyders.
Really good set. The strategy from the Blues, not to contest, but to rather get in there and get ready for the counter shove. But it's very good. Great technique shown. Ngubelanga, good patience at the front there. It opens up for big Roli van der Heever. He scores at the greatest stage. Duran Alexander comes on now for Yugi Engelbrecht. What a fantastic 57 minutes that little scrummy has had.
What a season he's had, Engelbrecht, as well. Maria sends it deep again. This time to the try scorer, Roland van der Heever. Snyders with the reply.
This is a classic game of finals rugby. Not just the intensity, but yes, we've seen quite a few penalties. But the way that teams are using the kickoff, the proverbial third phase, to try and get the ball back, get into a good position on the pitch, try and build phases. 6 points behind.
Thank you.
Forte Blues need to be accurate now.
Time back on.
Fatiela once again disrupted by Lord Shea Clarkson rising high. Christopher Andrews puts boot to ball, a wobbly old kick, which will eventually go into touch. Not happy with that at all. Most capped player in CPUT.
And the fastest player, arguably on the pitch. They don't call him jet shoes for nothing. See, Kosana went up a bit awkwardly there. And, well, you can't give that much time to Lord Shea, who's a fantastic contestant in the line. You see, Chikami's a little late to him there. Makes it difficult for Moyo and very easy for Lord Shea, who shoots up so quickly. Contests very well.
While we have an injury here. We're still in the time.
Now they call him Lord Shea. They also call him Pfizer. Because if you've got the poison, he's got the remedy. As we head into our second Steers strategy break, 20 minutes left in this final of the Varsity Shield. And Mtunzi, the boys from Belleville, are getting it done again. We were speaking pre-match about clutch play and how this side knows how it feels to be in a final. It must make a big difference.
Yeah, I must say, UKZN, Impi did them a huge favor. They're huge battles in the semi-final, and in that final round of round-robin games, won by 2 points in each fixture. It was tough for them.
Well, we wait for the final 20 intriguing minutes of this Varsity Shield final. Right now, we're going down to the touchlines where Kate Nokwe waits with an interview.
Thank you. While the players reflect on that first 60 minutes, let's chat strategy to HOD of sport at CPUT, Usiabulela Mkwalo. So, how has rugby changed sport at CPUT?
Rugby has changed our sport in so many ways. It has contributed to mass participation within our campus. It has contributed also to transformation, as we have a women team that is participating in the provincial league. And now most of the students are interested in sport because of rugby, thanks to Varsity Sport.
And what does tonight mean to you guys? What does tonight mean for you guys? What does tonight, being the final, a third straight final, mean for CPUT?
Look, it means a lot for the institution. You'll recall that we have won this cup 2 times. We want to grab it for the 3rd time in a row. There's no institution that has won it 3 times in a row. So we're here to take it for the 3rd time and take it back home where it belongs, to CPUT.
Siabulela Mkwalo, thank you.
Thank you so much.
These are the previous champions of the Varsity Shield. The prestigious history on your screen now. The Ixias were dominant early on. You can see a lot of those teams on your screen at the bottom have gone up to the Varsity Cup onto greater things. The Ixias narrowly avoiding relegation this year. Wits flying high, really, in the Varsity Cup, while UWC will be coming back on down next year. One of the 2 sides relegated, along with Madibas. And by the way, CPUT beat the Madibas in 2019. Then the Madibas got promoted to the Varsity Cup because they had finished on the top of the round-robin log. So CPUT are itching to get their go at the Varsity Cup when that time comes.
Yeah, and it's just so impressive what Mr. Nkwalo said. Mass participation. That's what not just the rugby of sports, but the FNB Varsity Shield has done for all of these universities who participate.
Open up.
And, well, records will be broken. Whether the Forte Blues win it or CPUT take the triple crown, 3 in a row. No side has ever done that. And they'll equal CUT at winning the most FNB Varsity Shields in their history with 3.
Under pressure. Kamvelitla Fachela finds Walter Moyo, and Fort Hare set a rolling maul of their own. Not making much ground, this rolling ball. In fact, CPUT now starting to send them back towards their own try line, but they go again. They go again. Madiba waits.
Ball in front.
The momentum slowly building, and Kambeli Tlefachela breaks away. His opposite number and his opposite captain in Gubalanga forced the tackle. Umalo takes it forward again. Met by the hefty defense, the pillar defense of Tofar and Paris. The big lock pairing of CPUT waiting in the trenches. Kosana down for some treatment moments ago. Back up on his feet and into the action now. Umalo on the loop. Always ready to go. Solomons must release. He's lost his feet.
One step.
Madiba waits. Some Zoziana takes. 5 meters out from the line now. Fort Hare. Can they retain their composure? Kosana to ground. Moyo forward again. And Gubalanga with an effective hit. Moyo keeps going. Weighing up the options. Zoziana singles out and Gubalanga and goes in. Centimeter by centimeter, if they must. Fort Hare prepared to work for the try.
Away 8.
Head down and leg drive. Around the corner again. Ayabulela Kosa wraps his arm, dots it down. Alice is going wild.
Gotta love it. Ayabulela Kosana gets in for a brace. That's his third Varsity Shield try. So important. He's played at flanker before. The St. John's College old boy. This is brilliant patience from Lwazi Madiba. Good cleaning as well. And although Kosana's in a high body position, it's his fight over the line, and he's done it before in some of the tries he's scored. Look at the fight to make sure that he can dot it down. He's played at flank before. He's an athlete. Don't let his body size and figure fool you. You saw a step from him coming earlier on. And what a baller he is. An asset, especially in that number 4 position. He plays his role so well.
This is the Fort Hare we saw in the round-robin stage, and not the Fort Hare we saw stressing in the semi-final. Chiwara. That one goes sailing wide, and it remains a 1-point game. CPUT retain their lead. And that pink ticker at the bottom of your screen is another try in the pink short power play, another donation to the Atemba Foundation.
He's gone up against some heavy defenders there, in Williams as well. Unfortunately, Williams just a little bit high up, but it's brilliant finishing from Kosana. So dangerous from that position. He's also very dangerous tackler, Hoft, but he's given away a few penalties with his tackle technique. Bit of a live wire. And if you want to increase the tempo, he's the man you want on your side. What a fantastic performance again from Big Tofar.
Snyder's another high hanging restart, and Fort Hare failed to receive again. CPUT regain possession, get right onto the front foot. Kunrad with a tough one for Snyder. Stadler cuts them open. Here comes Kane. Stadler dropping shoulder. The lanky man making an impact with his physicality. Alexander to clear. Here is Kunrad, scored a spectacular try on the outside in the first half. Can't repeat the dose. Duran Alexander digging in. What an opportunity for CPUT to strike back yet again, right after University of Fort Hare have got points of their own. Here's Vanaheva. Brilliant tackle, Mikobo Bovu and friends. Duran Alexander. Gubelanga. Defense solid from Fort Hare thus far. They're spread across the field as well. Looking confident in their tackles. Keenan Solomons. Duran Alexander.
Get on side.
Forced to change his mind, and he looks for Joshua Paris. Alexander. Snyder's awaits, but here is Roli Vanaheva. Driven back by Fort Hare. Growing in confidence seemingly with each tackle. Attacking the ball on the ground this time. No turnover there. Duran Alexander gets it to Snyder's, and Shea Clarkson is the dummy runner. No gaps appearing for CPUT. Alexander Takes it a couple of steps, gets it off to Solomons, and now it is Williams, never afraid to put his head
Captain.
into the dark places.
You are pushing against it.
Alexander Snyder's a wide ball now for Kane Stadler.
Time off. Are you sure you got the grounding?
He came to bring the pain. Kane Stadler dots down for CPUT, and they extend their lead again. Alarm bells are ringing in Ellis now. The crowd silenced somewhat, the clock ticking away, and the lead growing.
Yeah, that's just good patience. Again, it's finals rugby. You play it tight, low risk, and well, when you've got Fegan Lee Snyders, if you give him options, he'll pick the right option almost every single time. Good dummy line to suck in defenders there. It's a one-on-one. Kane Stadler uses his footwork. You're not going to stop him that close. It's a good finish from him. Great play. Snyders, of course, was communicating nicely with Che Klaassen, and that's just brilliant. Changing it up.
Thank you.
Changing the point of contact. Trying to create those one-on-ones. Stadler with the second Varsity Shield try. He's the one who started it all with a fantastic lineup of Snyders. It's just so difficult to tell what Snyders is going to do.
And he almost did that, Mtunzi.
Yeah, almost gets that. We know how important every single point is. That would have given them an 8-point lead, meaning that Forte Blues would have scored twice. But it's silky smooth passing and great finish from Stadler. We know he's top quality.
We still have a lot.
First year of Varsity Shield for Stadler.
About 17.
One of those young players who was deeply affected by the global situation over the last couple of years. Chiwara. This one, highly contestable. Maria off of the restart duties. Chiwara taking over, and he's put in an absolute classic to start it off. Put CPUT under pressure, forcing Snyders into a rush kick, and Sitloi can start the counter-attack. Sitloi, right in front of the Fort Hare fans.
One step, Captain.
Who are sounding slightly more tentative now than they did at the beginning of the match. Nkani, tireless ball runner. The big number 3, not a great pass, perhaps obstruction. Obstruction given by referee Mbeu. Now, Mtunzi, is the time that we were talking about the management of the clutch situation. Fort Hare have not been here before. They've been to one final back in 2017, pounded by UWC on that occasion. Right now, they have an opportunity on their home ground. Can they manage their emotions?
Yeah, that's an unfortunate one. Kosana running an overs line when he should have been running an unders line. Got a little bit confused there with Fakela, but Snyders hasn't found touch. Sitloi, he tries to play in the right areas. Accurate.
Over.
Ngubalanga waits, receives. The passes eventually find Snyders. This is going to bounce in grass. And bounce awkwardly. Limping after that one is Rodney Chikami, who looks to have been compromised since that injury, I believe, in the first half of the match.
Number 6.
But right now, the
CPUT.
General Snyders is starting to control this rugby match.
Is it off?
Coming off is Keenan Solomons. He's been absolutely brilliant for CPUT throughout the year, the number 6, who hails from Malmesbury. And running onto the field comes Lungelo Kubeka, schooled at Newcastle High.
Oh, yeah, just give them numbers.
Looks like he has a little bit of a niggle, Solomon.
Time back on.
But it's been tight, committing players to the ruck. They've been accurate as well, Forte Blues. So Solomons hasn't been able to do what he does best, steal the ball. Very accurate throw to Chikami this time.
Long arm transfer.
Unfortunately,
long arm transfer.
A long arm transfer. Unfortunately, that means that shoulders are separated from bodies, which means there is an obstruction. And the referee at halftime, I heard him speaking to some of the players, and he did give them that warning. So quick to blow the whistle there, Mbeu, keeping the players honest. That was a big one for the Forte Blues to take, and 2 lost opportunities. They've lost a bit of momentum now. And CPUT, with a 6-point lead, find themselves just outside the 22. Chikami does well, but there you can see it. They've gone forward, so it's made it difficult for Fakela to rip the ball bound with his shoulder up against Chikami. And that space, that's an obstruction.
Yeah, just make sure
Forte Blues giving away 11 penalties. CPUT starting to enjoy territory and turning pressure and field position into points. That's what you want to do in a final.
Ngubalanga Hoofed at the back, can't hold on. Was the knock-on coming from both sides, one would think. CPUT first, Fort Hare second.
Subs, 14 and number 9.
And a great sigh of relief will be
11
breathed
and
by
number
Fort
9.
Hare.
11 and number 9.
We are changing them.
If they'd managed to concede in that situation, they might have just found themselves with their backs against the wall here in their first ever home final of the Varsity Shield. Merlin Duplessis and Yamkela Mahinso coming onto the field.
There's a mark here.
Schooled at Brackenfell High,
We have a
Mahinso,
knock-on
and
from
off
Blue.
the field comes Lwazi Madiba. What a season the number 9 has had.
Yeah, great season. Nhlahlana has been very impressive as well. Mahincho is a good substitute to have, and so is Merlin Duplessis. Controlled the game so nicely in the second half against
11.
a very powerful, determined Wusu All Black side.
Crouch. Point. Break up.
A sterling effort in the scrum battle today from CPUT.
Okay, let's go again.
Against the scrum, which has been shining throughout the Varsity Shield. The University of Fort Hare, they would have been backing themselves tonight. They got themselves a tight head towards the end of the first half, I believe.
I need stability, Blue.
But they haven't had nearly as much dominance as they would have liked to enjoy at this set piece. And indeed, as predicted, their lineouts have been heavily disrupted by Shea Claessens and co.
Bind! Sit!
Referee Mbewu keeping Merlin Duplessis under control. He's now welcomed him to feed the ball into the scrum. Perfect formation on that set piece, and Duplessis sends it off to Mikobo Bovu. Snatched an interception, which snatched the match away from CPUT on their home ground in Belleville in the round-robin stage. The big number 12, Bovu. Duplessis, slow ball for Fort Hare.
Stay inside. Taken back.
He sends it back to Sidloi to clear. This one's flat and will land right in the arms of Kane Stadler. Andrews off to Snyders.
Stay 4.
Always present and ready to take control of the match with the boot. Or whether starting a counter-attack, Merlin Duplessis, seemingly slightly undecided for a brief moment, sends the ball flying back downfield. As we approach the final 10 minutes of the match, CPUT retain their lead.
Why are you holding the ball but you're outside?
Yeah, Merlin Duplessis.
Why are you holding the ball?
It brings a different style to Lwazi Madiba, and that'll keep the CPUT defense guessing as he picks out different options. He really finds grass very nicely. He's got a very good boot on him. And that's what Fort Hare Blues need to win this game. They need to hold on to the ball because they need to score points, but they need to play rugby in the right area so they can turn that pressure into points. Ooh, and he's taking it just outside. So lucky. Cringer for the coaches and the Fort Hare Blues fans, and especially for Merlin Duplessis. He wasn't 2 miles, like you mentioned.
So, give me the spot for line out.
Unfortunately, now this is exactly what CPUT would have liked. To protect that 6-point lead, they just want to play a territory game now. They want to put all the pressure on the Fort Hare Blues. Pressure equals mistakes.
Yeah. So the ball was taken back and it was kicked. Yes. So we have a line out on the 22. Yes. Yeah. Is that correct, Archie?
CPUT just need to keep accurate now. Fort Hare Blues will probably be contesting everything. They need possession of the ball. And of course, CPUT need to make sure that they don't allow an amazing support coming from the stands and the cheerleaders to get in their heads. They need to keep it simple. They need to control the game, play Route 1 rugby, not try to do anything innovative.
Ngubelanga to Claessens.
Execution
excellent from CPUT, but likewise from Fort Hare on that counter shove. They've completely disrupted the rolling ball of CPUT and win themselves a scrum on the back of it. A massive play from Fort Hare.
Yeah, the quality of KV Fakela leading from the front. Went to Durban High School. Of course, Pepsi Buthelezi and Sanele Nohamba played in the same first team as he did, so he's high quality. Showing it there, the captain. Desperation in the crowd, you can see it on the face. It's been tight, but CPUT in the driver's seat right now.
Time's
and you can see they were trying to milk that penalty, try and really nail in the final nails of this coffin. try to come away with the win. And Chikami, well, there he is with that little niggle you were mentioning, Paul. Not looking like himself, but a very important part of this Forte Blues side, especially with that front ball. He's done well under pressure.
Well, let's take a look at how this scoreline came to be. The opening score came from Matthew Babyface Kunrad with a winger's finish in the corner.
And just good patience. Tosan has been so good, 10 meters out of the try line, carries nicely. That's just fantastic from Hugo Engelbrecht. He had numbers in front of him, but it was close, showed the ball, kept Moyo out wide, and he scored. And look at this, low body position, nice flatbed sort of a structure. And Rolly van der Heever finished it nicely, but it was Tosan again, brought the Forte Blues right back into the game. And heartbreak, this is what put them into the lead. Brilliant passing between Lord Che and Snyders, and what a finish from Stadler.
What a player he is. Played for the Boerland youth, did Stadler, before the disruptions that we all know over the past few years. Now he has his chance to thrive in the Varsity Shield.
Bind.
He's taken it with both hands.
Sit!
Merlin Duplessis to feed.
Tunnel. Use the ball.
Solid from both sides. Duplessis in the end must clear. Chiwara waits for his players to get in position. Ryan Maria on the angle. Well tackled in the end. Slowing the ball down on the ground as they attempt the turnover each and every time. Keenan Williams this time hunting it. Merlin Duplessis once again with slow ball and plenty of pressure, forced to clear. Underneath this is Kane Stadler, who can call the fair catch in peace and harmony.
Yeah, but that's just what the doctor ordered, changing up his play, playing what's in front of him and understanding the moment. Kane Stadler gets his defensive line behind him so he can host the up and under.
Only Merlin Duplessis underneath that for the University of Fort Hare, not the tallest man in the team. Zozoyana taking it back into the fray. Keenan Williams with an aggressive hit. Merlin Duplessis sends it to Chiwara. Chiwara with the outside of the boot over the top to his opposite number 10, Snyders. And Snyders with the tap and go. Oh, yes, please. Fegan Lee.
Rock!
So calm, under pressure in the final. Still has the time and space to throw out the dummy, attract a couple of defenders. Now Sitloi sees some space to kick into. Merlin Duplessis is after this, and Merlin Duplessis almost getting up to receive that one. Duran Alexander can start the counter, but we all have a scrum for a knock-on.
Under pressure, let's take a scrum.
And of course, Mtunzi as the side behind. When you're in the final 10 minutes, every time a scrum is called, you just picture 2 minutes being eaten off of your clock.
Yeah, you can see the University of Forte Blues, they need to play in the right areas. The mistake will come under pressure. 7 minutes, more than enough time. Fenyana now on the pitch. He's been good. What a huge moment for him to close out these 7 minutes. Scrums will be important. We know how strong the Forte Blues are. They'll be trying to get a penalty.
Let's go, Chance. Call them, Captain.
It's so great to see. Remember, after next year, it's a promotion relegation year. The top team will be promoted. We won't be seeing that this year. And I think that's the right call. I'm not sure if any of these teams will feel very confident in playing at that level, but how great it would be to see an Eastern Cape team back in the Varsity Cup after next year. Of course, with the Madibas coming down.
Alexander feeds, and the Blues finally get that go forward, but it's cleared from the base in time, and Snyders can scramble one downfield. What a kick under pressure. It will bounce in fields, but will it go too long? Yes, it will. Snyders almost punished the University of Fort Hare, but the cruel bounce of the oval ball has sent us all the way back to the point from which he kicked it, presenting the Blues with an attacking opportunity.
He's just bit off a little bit too much there, Snyders. And the cruel bounce of the oval ball, you've got to love it. Keeps things in the balance. Had a few unlucky bounces, CPUT, but so has the Forte Blues. This is a very big moment. This is an important scrum for Josephus. He's shown his fitness levels. So have Mkani, Fakela, Ngumalo. Can they get a penalty?
Bind.
Need to put together some phases now. Be patient with their approach. have to start
17,
feeling like
don't
this
rush.
just
I'll
might
give
be
you ample time to get your bind. Don't rush
their
it. Let's
best
go again.
chance.
Let's speed it up. Let's go. Just keep it wide. Keep it wide. Come on.
Crunch time right now.
Bind! Sit!
Referee and Bearwool ready to let it go ahead. Merlin Duplessis feeds. They'll be desperate to milk a scrum penalty out of this. Referee and Bearwool asking Merlin Duplessis to use the ball. They won't be keen. Mzwazanyana keeping it in. They're moving forward now. Penalty advantage will come eventually, and it does. Duplessis clears. They have 2 bites at the cherry now. The inside ball is an absolute banger, and it finds Mahinshaw. Here comes Chiwara. Chiwara with the extra roll. He's gone too far.
He's playing advantage though. Needs to keep a cool head. He knows he's close. He knows how close that was, Chiwara.
Rolling there, it's fine, but penalty against you. You're pulling out under pressure.
So pulling out under pressure, penalty that rewarded CPUT before. So good consistency from the referee. This time rewarding the Forte Blues, and he knows how close it was. He knows. It's that extra roll. You need to keep a cool head that close to the try line. If he was able to recycle Chiwara, they would have been in for a try, surely.
Let's go,
Look at this conversation between the captain and Ryan Maria Facella. The conversation surely is, can we trust this line-out to win us the ball back? Or do we go for another scrum, which would eat up more time if there was a reset as well? Tough calls to be made at the death here.
They're solid. Nkani and Ngumalo have been brilliant. And look at the pressure coming from Kosana and Moyo. It's an excellent scrummage from the Forte Blues. It's been an asset for them throughout the season, and look at how it matters. Just 5 minutes from lifting that trophy. Huge line out. This is where they've struggled. Can they sort it out as well?
Mzwazanyana is able to drag it in.
Sack's good. One step there.
The sack is good. No rolling maul possible for Fort Hare, but they are in position to strike at the line of CPUT.
Hands up, hands up.
Mzwazanyana waits, but he's called away. Merlin Duplessis sees the big boys in position. Nkani takes it in again. Reliable as ever. Duplessis off to Chikami.
Onside.
Duplessis awaits. Chiwara knows it's not coming his way quite yet. Mzwazanyana, can he get to ground? He can. Knees down. Must be released.
On the line, please. On the line.
Pick and go around the corner from Walter Moyo. He's not half bad
20.
in those tight areas. It's on now for Fort Hare.
Stay on side.
It's time for some fire in the belly and some ice in the veins from the home team. Alice awaits a title. A try here might just deliver it. Merlin Duplessis sends it away. Keenan Williams knocked back in the tackle. Duplessis plays it quick. Keith Chiwara.
Tackle!
Kane Stadler sharp to the danger.
Onside chance.
They keep it tight. Mzwazanyana goes again. Composure required. No penalty advantage from the defenders. No mistake yet from those on offense. Fort Hare with 2 minutes to go, bearing down on the line of their opposition. The first time they've ever hosted the Varsity Shield final. Can somebody step up to the plate and get over the line here? Umalo awaits with the support of his captain Facella. Quickly around the corner from Mzwazanyana, Siyasanga Nkuberanga. With back-to-back tackles, the big number 2 putting in a captain's knock. Merlin Duplessis, Facella smashed in the tackle. You see the 5-meter line in the distance now. That is the quality of the CPUT defending. Another massive carry from Kumalo. He is not done yet, and Chikami likewise. Merlin Duplessis, Chiwara gets them dancing. Keith Chiwara.
Tackle!
Back up to the 5-meter line, Merlin Duplessis. 13 phases down, and Fort Hare Blues continue to move forward.
Oh, lost it.
Great effort at the turnover. Couldn't keep his feet. Mzwazanyana now powering into Kane Stadler.
Tackle!
Breaking to the left, Walter Moyo occupying defenders and then pounded down. Merlin Duplessis plays it quick. Chuana over the top. That one's loose.
Oh, man.
Timetable.
Execution over
Knock into
innovation.
touch.
They just
Knock
needed to
into
keep
touch.
their cool. They were starting to get over the advantage
40
line.
seconds, only
CPUT's defense was starting to be stretched.
We stop time. 40 seconds left. You have an option to either take scrum or a line out. You have 40 seconds to play. 40 seconds to play. It's a knock into touch. They have an option. Is it up? Come guys, Cappy. Time zone. Time back on.
40 seconds ticking away now. Scrum or line out is the call from referee Mbeu, and Ngubelanga has the ball in his hands. It's going to be a line out.
Here's it.
Moyo has gotten one or two. This is a huge play for him.
In front, yes.
25 seconds left. It all comes down to this play now for the University of Fort Hare Blues. Border rugby, Eastern Cape rugby. Waiting for this moment.
You're closing the gap, number one. No.
So passionate about their rugby.
Time back on.
Here it is. Shea Claessens rises high. Liano Hooft. He's knocked it on. Oh my goodness.
It's an FNP Varsity Shield final. Just like every single final we've seen for the past 4 years. This is what happens when CPUT are in the final. It goes down to the wire. Last year they beat the Wusu All Blacks, who had 3 opportunities to win the game through Litankula's boot. But they held on. Extra time of extra time. And the son of 10,000, Nathan Nkutu, finished it off. Do the Fort Hare Blues have something special now? They rely on their scrum. They wouldn't have it any other way.
Don't rush. Don't rush it.
Sosoyan at the back.
Crouch. Don't rush it, guys. Boing! Sit!
This is rugby at its finest. Merlin Duplessis feeds him. Sosoyana waits at the back. They're looking for the power play. Penalty advantage. Here comes Sosoyana. They'll have a chance to try for the line and another chance thereafter. CPUT now the side under undue pressure. Moyo goes for it. Moyo goes for it. Power towards the try line by his teammates. Held up is the call. We're going back with a penalty. Or we might just go upstairs.
Chance, move out, move out.
Not sure there's an angle good enough to see that ball being grounded. What an effort from Fort Hare. The game is in their hands all of a sudden. The twists and turns of the Varsity Shield. So unpredictable, so entertaining.
My decision is no try. I didn't see grounding. Can you advise me otherwise?
All right, Pumzile, so just to confirm, no try and you're looking for grounding.
Yes.
Please stand by.
Thank you.
Big moment for the referee Mbeu. Big moment for the TMO judge, Archie.
Just give me time there, Vusi.
Nzosoyana, huge moment for him. Nice low body position, as is characteristic of the energetic number 8. Dynamic, powerful. He's got support from Chikami. He gets over the line, and it's Lungelo Kubega who does a really good job by putting his body in there. But I think Nzosoyana's over. And when he stood up, it looked like the ball must have been grounded. They do have a penalty advantage. It's Moyo, in fact, who's carrying it into contact for a tall man to drive through. Look at the commitment. Backline players are in there. Mayincho is in there. Chikami's assisting him. And, well, this is what we'll look at. Look at the work from Kubega.
Pumzile?
Yes, Archie.
I've got no grounding, so you can stick with your on-field decision. You were playing advantage against Blue.
So we're playing advantage against Blue. So it's no try. We're going back to.
You're going. Well, you were playing advantage against Blue. A penalty advantage.
Yeah. So yeah. So chance, captains. Go. So clearly there's no try there, but we're playing advantage against you for collapsing the scrum. So we're going to award a penalty against you for collapsing the scrum. Time back on.
We go again.
These captains really take a bow. What a performance from Siasanga Nkubelanga.
Scrum option.
That was their captain last
Scrum
year.
option.
He knows how important this is. He can't even breathe. I can't breathe. And look at KV Fakela. Look at the confidence leading like that. What a leader to have at a moment like this. So much pride, so much history. At this world-famous university, what a moment for them.
I told you a long time ago to speed that up.
KV Fakela saying, it's a penalty, Bantwana Bam. It's a penalty, my children. Come in. Let's do what we do best. Let's do what's brought us here. Let's scrum down.
It's go time in the Varsity Shield. A pleasure and a privilege to be here, as you always say, Mtunzi.
Time back on.
We get to see this one go right down to the wire. A nail-biter of note.
So CPUT have denied them a couple of times with their defensive line. They'll back the integrity of their defensive line. They've done well with the pick and goals of the Forte Blues. They just need to hold on tight now and not give away a penalty.
Crouch! Bind! Sit! Steady! Steady!
Merlin Duplessis feeds again this powerhouse of a Blues scrum, and they begin to move forward. They are creaking towards the line now. Msozayana in control at the back. Msozayana waits. A penalty try is awarded. Oh, get out of town!
Oh, look at the field. They still have to have a conversion. Now it's a penalty try they've wanted.
Bedlam in Alice tonight. The Davidson Rugby Field is flooded by its fans. University of Fort Hare step into the winner's circle. A university of legendary proportions. A team of legendary players who never said no, and they never quit until the final whistle came. Right down to the wire. They put so much pressure on themselves to come up trumps in this game, and in the end, by some means, somehow, in some way, the University of Fort Hare are the champions of the 2022 Varsity Shield.
They were brilliant. If it was at any other pitch, I don't know if you could have a scrum like that. The perfect scrum. The scrum will be watched for years and years to come forward. It was as flat as can be, but players' knees were off the ground. That is just incredible. CPUT tried for everything, but the power, the technique was perfect. Lumumba Kari has done a fantastic job with these youngsters. How brilliant was Msosoyana, Tosholwana throughout the season, Bovu, Matiba, Keith Chiwara. A team of legends, and they'll be remembered for a long time, especially that man, Eddie Ngumalo.
The Varsity Shield has done it again. Take in these images, drink in this moment, the pleasure and pain of sports on display. And it's been a pleasure to be here every step of the way. That's how much it means.
Not just to the fans, not just to the players. Elliot Fana will be remembered. They played for him out here. What a way to bring honor to his name, to bring honor to this province, to bring honor to border rugby, to the FNB Varsity Shield. And this game we love so much that we've been denied for 2 years. We've come together here now. And what a moment for South African rugby. This is huge.
It's more than a game. It is our spirit, it is our soul on display here in Alice tonight. What an absolutely brilliant display of sportsmanship from both of these sides all the way through this competition, leading to this culminating moment, this historic moment at this historic university. What an honor to be here, and Tamati here has been pure class. Let's spare a thought for CPUT, the boys from Belleville, the back-to-back champions who have been lighting up this tournament for years and years, and they'll be back again next year doing just the same.
Yeah, they raised the bar, and they left it to other teams to try and meet them there. And they'll be ready for Matibas and UWs next year. Huge derbies we can expect to see there. Look at what it means to Fakela. The fans are out here. Tears all around. The Nguni Bull. Fantastic to see him. He took off his helmet. And why not? CPUT players can be proud of what they've brought to this competition. And, well, every single person from this important town in the Eastern Cape, Alice, can be proud for coming out here and supporting this side that has held the development of this province that has been struggling lately on their shoulders. What a symbol for where South African rugby is going and what it means to so many players.
This, Mtunzi, this has got to be the depths of despair right now anywhere in this country. How can it get any lower than Hooft? He had a chance there on the try line. They won the line out. They gave it to Hooft. He knocked the ball on. With seconds left to play, he knocked it on his own try line, offering the opportunity for the Blues to finally get that scrum power, which we've been talking about ever since last week. In fact, the whole tournament, they came and stepped up to the plate and got the job done. But to those from Belleville, to the fans, to the players, we wish you commiserations. As for Fort Hare,
yeah, just amazing. Amazing. That set piece, the scrum, it demands unity, timing, true guts, but technique. And they were able to do that. They were able to use it throughout the competition. And then on this pitch, which is heavy underfoot, they were able to perfect what the scrum has meant for them, this side. And it's won them the FNB Varsity Shield.
And in the end, after a truly spectacular final, once again, from the 2022 Varsity Shields, the final score is Fort Hare Blues 28, CPUT 27.
SA's iconic live celebration of local talent is back. The DSTV Mzansi Viewers' Choice Awards. Shine your light on our brightest stars by voting for your favorite song. Your favorite music artist or group. Your favorite DJ. Your favorite radio personality. Vote for free on mzansimagic.tv and use your rewards level to boost your vote on the MyDSTV app. Vote and stand a chance of winning one of 3 Kias. The DSTV Mzansi Viewers' Choice Awards, celebrating our local talent in a new light.
Sunday, April 24th, the UFC returns with a clash of Brazilian finishers. On the hunt for her 10th career stoppage, Amanda Lemos looks to make a statement by turning back the former strawweight champion, Jessica Andrade, seeking her 16th career finish.
Andrade gets another stoppage.
Do not miss UFC Fight Night, Amanda Lemos versus Jessica Andrade on the 24th of April. Live on Supersport, your world of champions. Only on DSTV.
Game on.
Smells amazing.
Oh yeah, that definitely smacks. Yeehaw!
I'm so excited.
Wow.
Find your happy place on DSTV these holidays.
Established in 1916, this is the University of Fort Hare, and they have just won their first ever Varsity Shield title, 28 points to 27 over the reigning back-to-back champions of CPUT, right here on their home ground at Davidson Field. And what a match it was. Here is Merlin Duplessis behind the winning scrum that led to the penalty try. Referee Mbewu had seen enough. The dominance of Fort Hare, too much for CPUT to bear. He went charging under the sticks, and that was it. Wild celebrations ensue here in Alice. What a season it's been, and there is their coach.
Yeah, Lumumba Kari, it's done so well, so much for this side, with the support of Elliot Fana, who is unfortunately no longer with us, and you can tell what it meant to the players to give him honor, to do him proud. And they've done just that. Lumumba Kari, their best season last year, they've topped it up now with their first FNB Varsity Shield trophy. Unbelievable scenes, but what else can you expect from the FNB Varsity Shield? It's rugby that rocks.
And there are the fans that rock. What a pleasure it's been to have the fans back in the stands this season, Mtunzi. What a change. This is rugby, needs to be enjoyed by the communities.
Yeah, we know how much these communities love rugby, and you heard how important it is in some of the interviews to communities, not just here in the Eastern Cape and border regions, but also in the Western Cape. Mass participation being one of the key words that were used. We know border rugby's been struggling, and so has Eastern Province, but this changes everything. And what a moment to celebrate. Absolutely amazing. Kate Nokwe with the end of game interviews.
It is, thank you to our commentary team. It is now time to crown the player that rocks, getting 7.5 from FNB. So MEC of Sport in Eastern Cape, Ufezeka Nkomonye, handing that check over to the 8th man, Uyamkela Mzozoyana, from the winning team, which are the Forte Blues. Congratulations, a champion, and you get to be the player that rocks on this night. How much does this mean to you?
It means a lot, especially for me, my family, my teammates, my coaches, and the community of Alice as well, especially the fans who came up to support us in numbers. I'm really grateful for this. I think we really deserve it, from the start to the finish.
How much went into that win tonight? How deep did you guys have to dig for this win?
I know we told ourselves that CPUT is not going to be an easy challenge, so we had to make sure that we played from the first whistle until the last whistle. So this is so that whenever we have no regrets. So I think we did exactly that, and we are proud of ourselves.
Well, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Uyamkela Mzozoyana. So now it is now time to crown the FNB back that rocks. Keith Shiwara also getting 7,500 rands from MEC, was still here. He is also the overall player that rocks for 2022, and for his efforts in the year he gets 20,000 rands. So that's a lot of money. Keith, how are we spending it?
I haven't thought about that yet. I was only focused on winning the final with the boys, and that's what we came here to do. We came out with the result in the end. It's an amazing feeling. You can hear the crowd outside. I'm very, very happy that we won the final.
How proud of your performance are you tonight, considering you won that?
I'm very proud. It started last year already. We've been working as a team pre-season, and then from game week 1 until the end, we've always been fighting together as brothers, and it's an exciting thing to win it at the end.
Congratulations. Your FNB player that rocks, Keith Chiwara, the number 10 from Forte Blues. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It is time now to speak to the losing captain. For their efforts, they get 100,000 rands from FNB. MEC of Sport in the Eastern Cape is still here. Siyasanga Ngubelanga, the captain of Cape Peninsula University of Technology. How disappointed are you tonight?
I'm not disappointed, ma'am. First of all, I'd like to thank the crowd of CPUT who traveled all the way from Cape Town. I'm not disappointed. I'm proud of my boys here. I'm 20 years old. I'm a captain. We didn't lose today. It's a start. I'm very proud of my chance. I love my chance. I can sleep for Yona Mana. Thank you to Cape Town. Thank you to East London. Thank you to Eastern Cape. I'm very proud of the chance. They've worked so hard, so many years to grind the chance. I'm very proud of them, and I'm very proud of my side. Thank you.
And being from here, how proud to have played a final in your hometown? Well, in your home province, I should say.
I'm very proud. I don't want to lie. Abazali bami balapha, abakhaya balapha, ngolapha eqonce. Ngomelela kanilapha, ndiyavuya. La match that disappointed. I'm not. I'm very proud. There's tiny chance. I'm proud of Amateurs 40. They've come very far.
Siyasanga Ngubelanga, siyabulela kakhulu for your entertainment tonight.
Perhaps the greatest post-match interview you may ever see. Siyasanga Ngubelanga, wow. Gets right into your chest. Just an absolutely beautiful sentiment from the losing captain, such a young captain of a young team. He knows they're coming back next season, and he's so happy to see the University of Fort Hare rising, especially for the implications it has on the region of the Eastern Cape.
Absolutely, Paul Stubbs. He led from the front today. Make no mistake, we saw the Hoft who was crying tears. They left everything between the four lines, and that's all you can expect from yourself. They can be proud of themselves, and so can these men. Iffy moments, you just never knew which way the game would go. And they'll know that they were a little bit lucky at times, but my goodness, for them to win this game through their scrummaging, just the perfect symbol for what this competition has meant to all of these players. They played for Elliot Fana, their director of rugby, and a huge influence of development in this region that is so passionate about the sport. And I tell you what, the FNB Varsity Shield next year is one to keep your eyes on.
Let's talk to the winning captain, Ukamveli Shefakela. You were very emotional pre-match. Verbalize those emotions right now.
Oh, I'm emotional right now. I'm really proud of the boys. It was a team effort. You know, we were behind at one stage, but I just begged the boys to never give up. It's not over till the whistle goes, you know. So I'm extremely proud of the boys.
What are the key areas for your game plan tonight that worked in your favor?
I believe our set piece worked well, especially the scrums. We scrum very well. We worked on that this week because we know scrummaging is our strongest point, so we focused on that as well, which got us the game.
A word to this crowd tonight? A word to this crowd tonight?
A word to the crowd. Guys, thank you very much. You guys have done nothing but support us throughout the season. This win is for you guys. We did this for you guys. Guys, thank you very much.
FNB winner for 2022, winning 200,000 Rand courtesy of FNB Varsity Shield. Go great for your rest of your team, Kamveli Shefakela, to accept your trophy.
In the honor and the memory of Elliot Fana, the University of Fort Hare step into the winner's circle. They win their first ever Varsity Shield title here in Alice tonight. What an achievement, what a university, what a competition. The fans that rock, and that's you. We thank you for joining us every step of the way. This Varsity Shield competition has been truly stunning, and it has come to a spectacular conclusion here tonight.
It sure has, Paul Stubbs. Huge. I mean, I don't even know what to say. FNB Varsity Shield rugby at its absolute best. For the past 4 years, this is what you can expect from the finals, and the competition's gotten tighter and tighter. Rhodes University making it just by luck. Matibas are coming down, UWs as well. It'll be incredible next year. But right now, it's all about these men out here in Alice. The legendary University of Fort Hare. The fans, the captain, the team.
And the fans on the field right now. What a privilege it has been to come to Alice over these last 2 weeks. 2 Thursdays in a row, we have been treated to the spirit of the game in its purest form. Joy from inside the 4 lines to out. And the party starts now for the University of Fort Hare. Joy unabounding last week when they won the semi-final. looking forward to the final. None more so than that lady right there who has shed every tear for the number 10 of the University of Fort Hare, Keith Chiwara, the Sables international from Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean influence in this Fort Hare team has been potent as well, and their coach Lumumba Kari must be proud as punch. It has been an absolutely glorious journey down this Varsity Shield road, and the varsity competition continues to impress. The Varsity Cup final coming on Monday, of course. But right now we revel in the glory, the sweet glory of the University of Fort Hare, holding aloft their first ever Varsity Shield title. And they won it on their home turf, of all places, against all odds. They were without the ball with seconds left to play on the opposition try line. CPUT won the line out and then went for one pass to one unfortunate young man who just couldn't hold on, giving the chance, opening the door to the University of Fort Hare scrum. This powerful, all-dominating scrum. Mzozayana in picture, the number 8 at the back of that powerful pack. And they drove their team over the line. The penalty try, securing victory for the first time for this glorious blue slide. They've been to the final before, and they got truly punished by UWC, taking about 45 points on that day. 45 points to 2, in fact, the score was. One of the innovations of the Varsity Shield and Cup during that year was that penalties count for only 2 points, leaving the Fort Hare Blues with only 2 points from their only other final. And there is Ryan Maria, 5 tries for the 19-year-old this year, product of Queen's College. The future shining bright ahead of that man. Gosara, he scored a double today. Nobody's ever scored a hat-trick in the final. He had a chance at that, couldn't quite get it done. But does anybody from this university care right now about anything else but the glory that they've just achieved? Doesn't matter how it came in the end. They almost threw it away. Let's remember, they almost threw it away. Before that line-out, it was Keith Chiwara who tried to pass over the top, which went out into touch, knocked into touch. A choice between a scrum and a line-out. CPUT took the line-out, won it, and the rest is history. And what a history it is. New history. This, the 11th playing of the Varsity Shield final. And the glory comes the way of a new winner. The 6th ever winner of the Varsity Shield, joining that prestigious club. Right now, it is the University of Fort Hare. And the music continues to blaze into the stands, and not a single person has left their seat thus far, just watching their team celebrate on the field, with the trophies lifted and the glory being bestowed upon those that took to the pitch here tonight. It has been a long old road for the University of Fort Hare to get here. This, in fact, their 84th Varsity Shield match. And to put that into context, CPUT, this is their 40th Varsity Shield match. They've been here for the long haul, the University of Fort Hare. And in their second final, they get the job done. They finished 5th last year, by the way. Finished 5th last year, and they've turned it all around in 2022. Revel in it, young men. Right now, we go down to the touchlines with Kate Nokwe.
Thank you to our commentary team. It is official, the sixth team to win this competition. It is Fort Hare University, the Fort Hare Blues, unbeaten in 2022. So Vane and Willis, who are part of the commentary team, as well as Fatima Beta Mtunzi, were all in English. So for you guys, a deserved win for Fort Hare, or where did it go right for them?
Yeah, it was always going to be a tight final. You know, we always knew from the beginning one of the areas that they were obviously going to struggle was their lineouts, but the dominant area and the key factor at the end of the day actually won them this tournament, which was their scrums. They always knew that's where they're dominant. They always knew that's where they'll really have an upper edge on a side like CPUT, and take nothing away from CPUT. I think it's a side that will learn, that will grow from this tournament. But one thing you can't take away from this Fort Hare side is that to win 8 out of 8 games in this Varsity Shield just shows what kind of character, what kind of investment, and how good these players actually grew from last year and developed, not only as students, but just as rugby players.
For you, Fat, where did Fort Hare win it?
Firstly, I just want to say I think this is a win for the entire country. CPUT did wonderfully. They can be proud of themselves. They can be proud of the performance between the 4 lines. Of course, under pressure, it's not always going to go your way. I think it could have gone either way. CPUT catches that ball, they kick it out, they win. You know, Fort Hare Blues get that line out, they win as well. So both sides can be proud of them. I think their scrum no team has been able to actually answer them. So in a way, that's been the most dominant way of winning for the Forte Blues. And guess what? They just won the FNB Varsity Shield final that way.
Yeah, Kit Chiwara is not just a backup player that walks in 2022, but he's also the overall player of the season. Would you have called that?
No, indeed, definitely. I've been fortunate to watch him for the last 3 years, and just to see him develop as a player. I remember speaking to him off field just before the match, and he actually told me that he's playing with a bit of a niggle. And so once again, he just showed how he grew, how he's developed. And also, you got to give credit to the actual coaching team that they actually stuck with him. They actually developed him as an individual. And in every single facet of how he grew, he was able to dictate certain games. He had a great variety that he brought into his game this year. And at the end of the day, him, Amadiba, and the rest of this team, there's a lot of rock stars in the side, but at the end of the day, it was one key factor. That was going to be the MVP, and it's a well-deserved MVP.
Oh, well, the coach, Ulumu Bakari, is on the floor. I can't tell if you're crying, coach. Verbalize your emotion for us.
Look, these are tears of joy, and it's been long coming. It's something that we've worked for over 5 years, trying to get this cup. You know, the last time that we went into the finals was against UWC in Cape Town, and we lost badly there. But then ever since then, it's been up and down, up until we then started to change our approach. You know, when we changed our approach, this is a work that has been done for 6 months now. You know, it's paid off. It's paid off. I mean, look at this crowd. You know, I think all our parents are here, all the community, the Raymond Mhlaba community is here. It's people that have been backing us all along ever since we started this competition about 8 weeks ago.
And the importance of having this in Forte for this area, this region.
Yeah.
Bringing the final here, being part of that. How proud are you of that?
Very proud, very proud, and hopeful that we're sending Elliot home. It's a huge send off for Elliot, a guy that has worked so hard for this, a guy that has worked for the betterment of a rugby player on and off the field. You know, now it's paying off. What you see here, it's always been hard work. It comes down to the hard work that we've been doing for the past 6 months together with him.
And Tata, I'm going to call you Tatu Kari from now on. Brilliant. You did it unbeaten, Tata. Yeah. You did it unbeaten. You've squeezed out wins. You know how to win. And you had your best season last year. You worked with Elliot Fana so much throughout the 5 years. And what was the secret coming into it? How did you keep motivating those players to do something over and over again at a high tempo, at a very high level of skill?
Yeah. I think what we did well is that was to identify players that will fit in our system. I think for the past 5 years, we had players that couldn't fit, and the way was bad. I must be honest, it was bad. It wasn't winning rugby. It was rugby that is entertaining. And entertainment doesn't win you games. It's discipline that wins you games. It's you stick to something that works and you work to it. You stick to it, make it work. So that's what we did for the past 6 months. When we started now, having identified the players that we want, is the reason why you see this type of a display. It's guys that know when to squeeze. We know when to go hard at the teams. It's no secret. Our tactics are they bloody work. They give it hot.
I must say, you talk about individual players, and I said earlier to Kate that I've been fortunate to watch this team for some time. A guy like Keith Chiwara last year was not at his best. A few guys and a few individuals, what did you bring into these individual players? Because you can see a world's difference, especially with a player like him. Not just seeing him out alone, but there's a reason why he's the MVP of this tournament. What special did you see in him and he actually developed a year later?
Look, Kit is a highly talented player. Kit was played all over. We played him at 12, we played him at 13, but then we needed to make a call. We took a decision that we stick with Kit at fly half. There's no other way where we wanted him to play. Hence, there's no game that we've shifted him to center, and that was our mistake last year. He now knows his role. It is clear. He is the one that needs to launch the attack for us, you know. He knows when to kick, he knows when to keep it in hand. I mean, you saw the last 5 minutes. It dazzled there, and we were able to keep CPUT at their back foot. So, Kit is also one of our international players. You know, he's going to play for the Gold Sharks
I'm sure by, I think on Monday, he's going to have to leave for the Ghost Sharks. But it's good experience that we need, because you got to release these guys to go play professional rugby. When they come back and do this thing, because the 1 and 3 that you saw here, that's playing here, and also the 12, they're part of the Bulldog squad. So it's guys that we drafted in the Bulldogs, and that thing is playing off now, you know. So it's something that, as an institution, we want to try and expose our players, give them the best opportunities, get them to go play Currie Cup. When they come back, we've got a better side.
A word on your captain. A word on your captain, his leadership in this season. What made him so special that you made him the captain?
Look, as much as a quiet guy, but he's so strict. He's one guy that has set the tone. He has set the tone, and it's something that we started last year. When we had Yamgele as a captain, we had him as a vice captain to take over, because he's someone that he backs these boys. These boys are highly motivated whenever he leads, you know.
Well, thank you so much, Lumumba Currie, and congratulations, finally a champion after all these years. Gentlemen, I mean, he highlights the changes that were made in the team. How difficult it is to make those calls and say, you need to move there.
It takes a bold coach to make those calls. I mean, at the end of the day, Gambaditi is their captain. They realize there are weaknesses. Most teams realize their weaknesses, and we've been harboring on it for some time. But at the end of the day, their lineouts was a weakness. It doesn't really matter now, because he made the decision. He stuck with him. It is his captain. It's worked off for them today. And it just so happened in the moment where they needed one thing to come off for them, it wasn't their lineouts that mattered. When they did actually compete, they actually won their lineouts, and it went to the scrums. And where it really mattered, you could see Gambaditi's face in the end.
I'm going to cut you off there. We ran out of time, Vayden, unfortunately. Well, thank you so much for watching us in your World of Champions. Don't forget, on Monday, Tuks have a chance to defend their title